No, Captain, they're alive.
Captain, urgent news from the General.
Why not really blow it up, Captain?
Captain's log. Barking into hostile environment. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Hey, Captain Crockpot here. Thank you for watching this video. It's my top 16 match against Bjorn. It's hosted by Darkblade, so a huge shout out to him, as well as his co-host, Bryden. Gave a lot of great insight on this one, so really listen in. I hope you enjoy the matches, and I'll see you soon.
Oh my goodness, the Captain Crockpot really on the ball for these costume changes to match the fighters. He's got like a Malcolm.
He has a Malcolm shirt.
I don't know if it's specifically a Malcolm shirt, but it's at the very least a Jeff Goldblum shirt.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did he go? Is that why he went AFK for a second to go put that on, or did he have that on before?
The signature costume change. He had all three of the fighters that he had in the match the other day. He had Bigfoot. He didn't end up using that one because he 2-0'd, but he had Bigfoot ready, and then he used Little Red and Dracula shirts as well.
Okay.
And so he said he's got like a dozen or so for various unmatched fighters, and so far it's worked out that all the fighters he played he's got shirts for. So we'll see if there's any more costume changes for the next games.
Yeah, he should just wear all three shirts at the same time, and after each game, just take one off.
Yeah, just layer them. It'd be perfect.
Layer the shirts on, so just have to go AFK. Yeah. So I came in after the draft. So we have Sattler versus Achilles, and I'm guessing this is Achilles' advantage?
This is actually Sattler advantage.
Okay, and he chose to go second.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to play the exhaustion game pretty heavily, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so he got hit by a... Or no, Malcolm got hit by Spear Throw right away.
Spear Throw turn 1.
Yep. Looks like he's hiding Malcolm, which I would agree with. I would mulligan for Life Finds a Way here. The Malcolm card that lets him discard and heal. Yep. That's what I would have mulliganed for sure.
Yeah, and we did see Captain Crockpot mulligan, so probably looking for that card. Because that helps you in exhaustion, of course. It helps keep Malcolm alive. And, you know, you can hit some pretty valuable cards, taking the ability for Achilles to use them. He might be able to battle harden it back at some point, assuming it's not a battle harden that gets hit. You still have the other copy, but losing one definitely sucks. But still, it's a card that he would not have been able to... A card that he would have been able to use, and then also battle harden back if it didn't get hit. So definitely a great tool for a lot of reasons. And then, you know, exhausting Achilles is something that is always a strat you have to keep in mind. And based on that, you know, usually determines how each player plays around when they want Pat to die. And that will vary from matchup to matchup. In this case, I think that Sattler wants Pat to stay alive basically as long as possible, then kill him off in the end game where she can safely run around and exhaust Achilles by him having to maneuver, as well as when he wins combat, which happens most of the time when he's attacking his angry Achilles. Though Sattler does have some decent big blocks in the deck.
Yeah, I think if Sattler can get value out of what's the card called? I think We're Back in Business is the card.
Yes.
When Achilles is angry, that could be a 7 value block theoretically. Even if it's like a 5 value block, it's not bad either. She also has that one. It's like that momentous card. It's like a 1 value that attacks and lets her move 1. Oh, nice. That's a good. Oh. Okay. A feint attack into it.
Yep. This is
I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's not the worst, obviously. It's good, but that's one less feint that he has for Sattler's 7 value attacks. But Achilles can use Battle Harden to recur the feint. So.
Yeah, the thing about Sattler's attacks is almost all of them get just crushed by feint. Your Back in Business is a 0 that obviously doesn't boost if it's feinted. Your Illusion is a 2 that boosts based on how many tokens you have, and then gets and then removes the tokens. The one that becomes a 4 against heroes, though you're usually using that to block, etc.
Yeah.
Like a lot of your stuff, you can't really get much over feint. You could maybe get like one of your 3s, but that's only doing 1 damage, which is less than it would do otherwise, most likely. So feint, really useful tool against Sattler. So using one there on the Malcolm card is potentially a little bit scary for later in the game, but at the same time, stopping that life finds way is pretty strong. However,
that's a ballsy play. I mean, if it was a swap, I would. If I was Bjorn right there, or no, if I was Crockpot, I would 100% be thinking he's going to swap, because if he threw a feint right there as an attack, I'm thinking he has some way to deal with my 7, and so I would think that he at least has a helm. So I don't know if I would have thrown the 7 there, but it paid off. So that was really good. Got some damage off, 4 damage off.
Yeah, capitalizing on the fact that that feint was used and wasn't available for that attack there. It might just be a case where Helm isn't around and was just hoping that Sattler would basically be thinking exactly what you were there, like, oh, well, if he blocked with the feint, he probably has a Helm that he can use against one of my big attacks, but might have been completely just pretending like he had it when he doesn't actually.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone for that feint attack in general, because I feel like if you feint Sattler's attacks, it doesn't really matter if Malcolm gets to use this card, because again, you have Battle Hardened to bring some cards back. And also, Sattler wouldn't have healed from this card either. She was full health. So only Malcolm would have healed from it. Which, I mean, again, if Malcolm dies, she can only place 1 insight a turn usually, so... or 2 total, I mean, but... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that feint attack, but... We'll see. What happens.
We'll see. I think in the short term, it definitely seems like it was a detriment, but we'll see if that remains the case, or if it ends up being a fine term or a fine play in the long term. But yeah, I think I'd lean a little bit more towards your stance as far as using it there. It just seems a little unnecessarily risky, because it's not like what the card it's going to hit. Right, and
exactly,
and as you pointed out, only Malcolm gets the healing. So if it boosts away something that you're not as bothered about, it doesn't really matter. And sure, it matters for exhaustion purposes, but at the same time, it's like, is that really going to come into play? Like, if you can play around that by killing Pat off early, if possible.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. If Crockpot can keep the decks kind of even until Pat dies, he can afford to use Sattler's healing. I actually use Sattler's healing card. What's it called?
Woman
Inherits Earth. Yeah, I actually use that as like a couple of them as boosts usually, just because I'd rather land Malcolm's healing and use the opponent's deck to heal than use my own deck to heal, because Woman Inherits Earth draws you a card as well. So like you heal, but your deck timer, quote unquote, goes down because you're drawing from it. And then also the healing's immediate, so you still take damage during combat. So
see a battle hardened block here on the survival situation, so 2 damage.
I do like that a little bit. The reason I like it a little bit is, oh wait, is he moving adjacent?
Looks like he is staying.
I don't know the hand counts, but I mean, if there was a swap there, it would only be a 1 damage instead of a 4 into Pat. So that's why this is pretty good. Yeah, good bait.
That is a neat little interaction in this match.
Yeah, so he moved adjacent. It's 5-5. If Achilles,
there's the shirt. And it is definitely Malcolm, because I see the T-Rex in the background. So that's definitely my favorite shirt of the ones that he's shown off so far. The Little Red one was pretty great because I love Little Red, but yeah, that one's gotta take the cake.
So I'm trying to think of why he'd move adjacent. If he didn't move adjacent, Achilles could double maneuver to 7, and then Sattler could double maneuver and take middle ground to 7 cards, and then it would put the initiative on Achilles to at least go in and spear throw.
Yeah.
So if the initiative's on Achilles, I don't know if I would have gone adjacent, but maybe I'm missing something here. Yeah, I think I would have moved back 1 space into that lone purple-pink space, so if Achilles couldn't go in.
He can't reach Malcolm, and then unless he boosts with something like big.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also, like, if you're worried about him, because you place the insight token even when moving through effects like that, it doesn't when you place with the one card, since it needs to be your fighter moving to the space. But the token, as long as there's one available, does get placed when you move with that card effect there. And so it would also keep a token like in a decent spot if Achilles tried to go for Sattler and you want to do something like violently if necessary on defense. And it looks like Malcolm might be going down here. The Brothers in Arms goes undefended, and this attack will as well. So it's 2 big 4s out of the way, but Malcolm does fall fairly early.
Yeah. It's interesting how he's trying to keep Pat alive. I'm wondering why. I feel like once Malcolm dies, at the very least, that's when you're fine with Pat dying. So I wonder if now he's going to be okay with Pat dying.
Yeah.
I don't think you really want to be too worried about exhaustion when you're facing Sattler too much. Her healing now is immediate, so any big hit is going to still destroy her. So yeah, I would have gone aggro with Pat personally and tried to get him low, and then once Malcolm dies, kill off Pat as well. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. Yeah, an interesting thing to note, a Pat card was also used to boost there, to reach. It might have been the only like card he really had that he wanted to boost with, but at the same time, Pat with the helms, like if Sattler throws big hits into that, he'll be able to get damage on Pat and get him killed off when he wants anyway.
Yeah.
And here we see a violently if necessary going into a heal, so no damage from the combat, but going to be 2 damage after since there's an insight token adjacent to Achilles. So Achilles already down to 10. So Sattler doing a pretty good job of pressuring Achilles' health total so far.
Yeah. I feel like that's why you kind of want Pat to die, because then you could start trading into her a lot better than she's trading into you. I mean, you do have 3 helms and 3 feints. Oh no, 2 feints now, right? Yeah. Oh no, Battle Hardened took a feint back. So, yeah, he does have a lot of tools to survive her. So.
Yeah. We've got Connor in the chat asking what you think the odds are that Sattler's currently playing with the monitor off.
I'm never gonna let that go away, huh? It's always gonna be following me wherever I go.
Yep.
Looks like Bjorn though is one playing with his monitor off.
Very possible. There was a T-Rex on one of the players' rosters, but it was actually on Crockpot's roster, so no chance of the Sattler going into Rex this time around.
Okay, he had T-Rex, huh?
Yeah, I believe the other fighters for each player were T-Rex for Crockpot and Bullseye for Bjorn.
Bullseye for Bjorn. Okay, and he put Sattler on advantage against Achilles, Bullseye, Sinbad, and Luke. I hear Sattler versus Luke is like doable, and it kind of makes sense. Like 10 auto damage and big hits.
Yeah, I won that one in pools this time around. It can be scary, but Sattler's got a lot of tools to block the big hits, multiple ways to stop the still standings from recurring, and then obviously a lot of auto damage, which Luke does not like, as well as those big illusions, which can hit over everything but the trash talk pretty well in addition.
You see Achilles going in for an attack here. Wait, taking it.
Probably expecting the test for weakness.
Yeah. But
it's a risky take for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you have such a hand advantage. Like I think if you block if you block in the case that it is something like a Brothers in Arms, you don't like to see tests for weakness, but if you have to spend another defense on it, fine. And if not, I guess you can take 3 instead of 4.
Yeah, I think I think Sattler can afford to play defenses though, because
Okay, and this actually does also make sense.
Especially, yeah.
Because now she's going to be back up to
Yeah, no,
only
that
missing
does
one
make
health.
sense.
Yeah, so even if it is something like a 4, taking it there and then going into the full heal and then only taking 1 from this Hermes.
I just don't know if I would have expected him to double attack there, though. Is the thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it paid off, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Might have even been fine with the brother in arms, just because if it is something like that or a skirmish, you're thinking, well, if he attacks again, I've got the full heal, so and I can start putting down tokens again.
Mm-hmm.
So another action which I will use to maneuver.
That counts repeated. Achilles does that's right now.
This is a weird game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sattler has some of the highest healing potential of any fighter in the game, but something I wanted to add on to the point that you made earlier about wanting to use the Woman Inherits the Earth as boosts, at least some of them, is if you look at especially using them on defense, if you extrapolate to fatigue considerations, as you pointed out, the draw that you get from Inherit makes you dig deeper into your deck. And so if you assume that the deck is empty during exhaustion, that draw basically was 2 damage. So even if you're getting the max heal, you're really only healing 3 in the long term. And if you're using it to block, if you're getting hit by like a 4, you're taking 2 there, so you're really only netting 1 healing. So the Malcolm healing is much better, since, as you said, it's taking from your opponent's deck.
To heal, correct,
and you're not losing, deck advantage in that regard. So
yeah, and it's really good if you can have Malcolm, actually heal from using it, and Sattler. That's very, very good. So
the
Sattler matches become a lot easier when Sattler and Malcolm can heal. I mean, obviously, like most matchups, you just want the discard mainly. Like, I'll use it. The plus about Malcolm's heal too is it's after combat, whereas Sattler's is immediate. So he can take damage. It's only a 2 defense, and then he can heal from it. So it's really good. But yeah, what are the deck counts? 15 to 15. Sattler has 6 cards in hand though. Achilles only has 4, and Achilles is gonna have to discard 2 randomly if Pat dies. So I'm actually liking Sattler's chances here.
Yeah.
Just 2 more 7s.
Yeah, that last interaction I saw was boosting in with the other life finds away, and then attacking with violently if necessary into a feint from Achilles. Which appears to be the one, that was the one that was recurred with Battle Hardened when that came out.
And there's still 2 more Malcolm cards. One's a boost 2, one's a boost 3 that he can use as boost.
How did this happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is where I'm curious if Achilles is gonna have the damage to really kill her.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem for sure, especially if
I think eventually what's going to happen is a 7 is going to hit into a helm.
Yeah.
Or he might not even use it all the way to a 7. I'm curious how this is going to go.
Yeah, it is interesting. As far as like getting the value out of those insight effects, usually you want to try to maximize them, but I could see, especially since you don't have Malcolm to help refill as quickly, maybe you do end up being fine attacking with it when you're not quite at max value, because that also means less damage is going into Pat if it is a helm on defense. Boosting with another Pat card.
Boosting with the Pat cards.
Yeah, he really wants Pat alive.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't think I have to ever worry about you until the very, very end. But even at the very end, man, I'm gonna make you discard 2 random cards. This will be really.
I know, yeah. That's the scary part. That's the scary part indeed.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, my personal opinion, I don't know if this is right. What I would personally do, though, is I would have had Pat be really annoying to Malcolm instead of Achilles. Because putting Achilles up there I mean, Achilles lost half his HP just getting Malcolm dead. And so if this gets to exhaustion, which, I mean, if the 7 hits into a helm...
Just murder Pat? Is that the game plan here? Just murder the Pat.
So how do you think that Sattler wants to approach Pat at this point?
I think I just keep bringing it.
It's probably still not worth, like, actively trying to kill him until... like really late game, I would imagine. Still,
yeah, I don't think there's really a point in hitting him and ending next to him. He's boosted with Pat cards, so there's no like threat of that damage. Both battle frenzies are gone. He still has 2 of the other ones, obviously, but there's not really any damage output coming from Achilles right now. There's no threat of damage. Like 80% of Sattler's deck can be played as a defense, so. And Achilles isn't hitting hard, so Achilles isn't getting any value. So he's taking 3 from that. Yeah, I mean,
dang.
I really think keeping Pat alive is not the play here at all. As Achilles, just in general, in most matchups, you want Pat dead ASAP.
Yeah.
My rule of thumb is when I'm Achilles, is I kill off the opponent's sidekicks, and then I instantly kill Pat as fast as I can. I wouldn't have boosted with the Pat cards. I wouldn't try and keep him alive, because then you're not getting any value. You're no threat. So I don't think Achilles is going to win here, but we'll see. Oh, this is just absolutely brutal. Sattler has 2 lock the doors, which is 2 damage to whoever attacks her, so I think this is just completely over for Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Achilles can maybe try to line up feints, but then he doesn't have them for Sattler's big hits.
Exactly. There's no winning here. And even if he helms a big hit, I mean, then Pat's 1 health, and then, you know.
Yeah.
It's looking rough.
Okay. Gonna be a battle hardened to sexism.
Can we pause? I got a question for everybody. If I don't move, can I choose to move 0 and put my insight down?
No, you gotta move.
Yeah.
No, you have to move. You have to move.
I have to move to get insight down?
Yes. Correct.
Sure.
That was your last action?
No, second to last, because I gained an action first.
I'm actually really impressed with Crockpot because he got second in my group. I went out first, he went out second, and he started off I think 0-2 or like 0-4, and he was DMing me like, "Hey Bryden, like you have to 2-0 Evil or else I can't even make it out."
Yeah.
And so like I 2-0'd Evil and I was like, "Hey, I 2-0'd, so it's all 2 now." And so like he barely escaped pools with like I think he went 6-4.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
And so to be able to make it to the top 16, and then you know it looks like he's gonna win this next game. I mean, that's a pretty big comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He's I mean, I've played against him a little bit. I might have played him I think I played him in maybe last Winter of Champions. And then I played him a little bit in like practice and maybe ladder here or there. But yeah, he's been a player that's very consistent in doing well, and he just keeps getting better each tourney. This is definitely the furthest he's gotten. And I know we were talking after his match, but because he was talking with Patrick, whose first tourney was this last one, and he was just talking about how, you know, he just keeps playing and keeps improving, keeps trying out different matchups and everything. Oh boy,
he's making these calls, man. Oh my goodness.
So that's gonna win and draw 2, which is, I don't think he hates it here.
Because the health differentials are pretty big, and because if Pat dies, you know. But yeah, I mean he's at 11 now to 13. Oh, and that was his last action, huh? That was Achilles' last action.
So now Sattler has a ton of cards.
Oh, so that signals to me that Achilles has a skirmish in hand to maybe move after combat. Or wait,
he got back.
He's already used one. Blessed by Hermes as well. Wait, sorry, say that again. What do you take back with
he took back a feint with the Battle Hardened.
Okay. This is, I mean, Sattler can double attack here.
Yeah.
If one of those is a feint, and then one is, I mean, if one's like an attack card. And if you attack twice, you still have 3 cards. I would 100% be attacking twice here if I was Crockpot.
I think so.
That's interesting, man. You got some feints just chilling.
And even if it's like 2 feints in hand, just getting those out of the way is...
If it's a helm, though, and he attacks with like a 7, it goes to 1, and then you don't want to attack again because then he's not losing any cards.
Yeah.
But I would maybe throw out some kind of bait attack, like some kind of like 3-value garbage. He did take a hit, so I'm wondering if he's going for a heal, but then he's going to be at 10 cards to 13. You don't want to go too low in exhaustion here.
Yeah.
Especially because he's keeping Pat alive, so he can play towards that.
Lock the doors would have been a really good block for that second half.
Yes, would have been great for that. There's no way he has it, unfortunately, because yes, that would have like sealed the game. Because then Achilles can attack with anything except feint, and he would die.
He's going for Pat.
Back Pat.
I mean, this might just be the illusion trying to kill Pat if he doesn't block.
And then, yeah, those 2 cards are gone. One of those
Bjorn
is a feint.
loses. So Bjorn has to be thinking whether that's a possibility. So if he doesn't feint this, he loses the feint anyway. So he might feint it, which means which I think means that this is not actually an illusion from Crockpot here. So does Bjorn want to risk it? Is the question.
Yeah, he does, because I mean, if it's a 7, which it was, he would have just lost the feint anyway. So why not just play it?
And then if Crockpot attacks with something else there, then
taking these hits, I'm not. That's the one thing. I know he healed off the last one, but like I feel like you have the cards. Like Achilles has 14 cards right now. Sattler has 15. The problem is Sattler has 5 of those in hand, not in deck.
Yeah.
So I think he shouldn't be taking these. I don't know if you like. I think you can easily. What I'm saying is you can easily afford to use your defenses. Like you have the value. I don't know if I would be like, oh, I can take hits because I can heal. Well, your heals are taking a card from your deck, which is like, if you view your deck as a timer, like when you're healing, you're also removing, a card from your deck, which is lowering your timer. So I don't know if I agree with taking these hits. I feel like, yeah. And he 100% has defenses in hand because Sattler's deck is like 80% defenses.
Can you turn that down a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be something like Double Illusion, the Scheme, some blue cards.
And both Malcolm cards.
Malcolm cards. Yeah, I mean,
it
seems unlikely.
Like literally, like everything in her deck is pretty much so. Yeah, we'll see. It is 11 to 10, so still looking Sattler favored. She still has 2 lock the doors.
Yeah, the lock the doors are the biggest problem, I think, for Bjorn at this
point. Achilles is going to be scared to be attacking, so he can play around that fact and next to Achilles. Yeah, I don't know if I would have gone for that attacking with a 7 there, because I would 100% be like, this guy's going to feint, because if he doesn't, it dies, and then he loses his feint anyways. So I 100% would not have played my 7 there personally. But we'll see.
Just know what the Malcolm's
good feint. Or not feint, good boost.
Jeez.
I wonder what. I wonder why he didn't. Maybe he wanted to boost to the 1 value and save that 2 value for something else.
That's possible.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'll go there.
Because with a 4 boost value, you can hit every space on this map if you're in the center. So maybe that's why, since he's only 3 spaces away from Achilles. Wait, wasn't he down here? Okay. Or did he just double maneuver?
He just double maneuvered, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to play out, but it seems Sattler favored for sure.
I'll maneuver.
It's good she got map pick, because, yeah, if this is, a bigger map, it'd be a little scarier.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, because Sattler's positioned in a way where Achilles can't, like, run to the other side currently, and probably can't fully block with Pat either, so it's going to force a boost, but that's fine. We know that the Malcolm scheme is there, so that's probably going to be the boost this turn.
He still has what are those 0 value cards?
Yeah,
He has 2 of those left.
yeah, I think that's probably what I'd lean towards attacking with here.
Yeah, I think just making sure you can get attacks in each turn. Just to, attack as a pass, right? So getting those in, I think, is just how you play this right now. Just attack once a turn.
Yeah.
He has good value on his 0. Versatile.
So I'm gonna attack. I'll attack Patroclus.
Attacking Pat.
Okay.
Doesn't want to give that helm value. It is. That's Pat
Oh,
down.
there. Oh, this is interesting.
This
Okay.
what these discards hit is huge here.
Yep.
I'll roll a d6 and we'll reroll on 6.
Let's see. If he has 2 lock the doors in hand and he attacks 2 6s, it's a 4, and then it's a he would lose. Sattler would lose
Case, yeah.
if there's 2 6 attacks. That's why I don't know if I really didn't like the taking these hits. I mean, he healed one of them, but the other one he has not healed from.
Okay, heal in a Day of Your Doom.
So
pretty
really
alright
bad
hits for
discards.
Bjorn, yeah.
Yeah. If he hit a skirmish, well, he only has 2 more 4s in the skirmishes.
Yeah, the
but
skirmishes are really good hits. Feints are probably pretty solid.
he's
too.
attacking with a skirmish here, so I would defend with. I mean, maybe he has
With a
other 0.
heal?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so he's healing to.
He's only taking
12.
1 from this combat. Or no, sorry, he's taking
Well,
3.
no, he's taking 3.
Right, because
Yeah.
Angry Achilles, but then he heals for 5 first, then he takes 3.
Yeah. So he goes to 9.
Yeah, well, yeah, so
Sorry. No, you're right. I heal up 2.
Yeah, he'll net 2 health off of this.
Mm-hmm.
But, so you draw immediately.
Achilles draws to 8 cards now.
Also draw, but do I draw after I've done my after combat or before?
You'll draw.
I think Sattler 100% has this
Every time you win combat, you immediately.
because
It's like
if Achilles keeps fainting, the
In that case,
mm,
I immediately draw and then you can do
he has to get 5 insight out as well. That's the big thing.
the effect.
Because his insight now is all gone.
The upside for Bjorn here is that attacking with a feint now does get around locked doors and also gets 2 damage over it.
Correct. But then it stops.
Attack again.
Okay. It stops him fainting the 7 though.
Ooh, if there's the other locked doors, it's just game.
Wait, it's game if it's the other locked doors. Yep.
Take 2.
Draw and I take 2. Yeah.
It also still does win, so...
If he has it, he doesn't, or else he plays.
No, it'd be an immediate
So,
play if he had it.
yeah.
5.
Achilles is, yeah, they're like even deck counts.
Yep.
I think Sattler can really just run around and force Achilles to come in, right? So,
Okay,
And
so
that
that's,
only does 1, and that does still force a draw from Achilles.
yeah, I think Sattler just runs around, and he's gonna have to feint an attack. So just play around that fact.
Yeah.
Um,
your turn.
but I mean, he could also easily afford. Wiley's are gone, right? He only has 2.
Yes, correct.
Wukong's the one with 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I think I would have a first action attack. I don't know his hand though, but oh wait, all the insight are gone. I need to tell. All your guys' insight should be gone too, by the way, because you
Oh
healed.
yeah. Oh, good point.
Jeez.
So I think he should have attacked first because then Achilles would win combat, draw a card, and then maneuver. Because then you're keeping the deck counts kind of similar, you know.
Yeah.
And Achilles, I mean, Achilles has 1 pass, so I would have liked to see Sattler actually move here. I don't want to move my mouse and like.
You can turn off the cursor if you want.
How?
Bottom
What do I do?
right. Bottom right little cursor.
Oh,
You should be able to do
okay,
that.
cool. Yeah, can you see my cursor now or no?
I can
Okay.
actually not. So that doesn't help me
Oh, you're good.
necessarily.
Yeah, you're good. So
But,
if Sattler, I would have, because right now Achilles can spear throw.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fully matters. I just wouldn't give him these options. But I would first maneuver into the red space to the right of that insight, and then I would like maneuver again and probably stay in red.
Okay.
But it looks like Achilles isn't gonna first action spear throw anyways, and the initiative is on him anyways. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. He's forcing him to boost to even attack him now, so.
It's a good thing to keep in mind, though.
Now boost with this.
A boost with a helm.
Hat Shout, I just turned on the chat so I can read what you're saying now. Could you ask Bradden if he thinks either player is getting dumpstered? No, I don't think anyone's getting dumpstered. I mean, look at how close this is. I just think he should have had Pat be the one to aggress on Malcolm and then just gone like really aggro after Pat dies. Achilles getting to 9 HP, like and then Pat dying and having the dex speed this low is like not what you want. Just my general rule of thumb. I mean, I'm not a professional Achilles player. That's Phantom, but I mean, kill the sidekicks and then make Pat die, and then that's pretty much what you want. Because then Achilles can just go in and attack every single turn without sidekicks being annoying.
Another important thing to note here is if Crockpot attacks Achilles with small values, and Achilles wins combat, he still draws on defense if he wins. So, and I mean, like if Achilles is losing, he's taking at least 1 damage when he only has 2 health left, so he has to win on defense. And that means that not only is an attack a pass for Sattler, it's drawing Achilles deeper into his deck as well.
Yeah.
But Sattler does have to be careful, of course, of her life total.
Yep. Okay. Interesting.
Alright, makes the call.
He's trying to bait out a feint.
Yep. And if that had been an illusion,
7.
that would have been.
Yep, it's over. Yep.
Even the back in business would have done it.
Only
right?
reason
No,
he's gonna think I'm harping on it, but the only reason it's this close is because he took that undefended hit. He'd be at 8 health right now if he didn't. And so that's what makes this a little scary. I mean, still, if he attacks with the skirmish into a 2, that's 4 health, so he's at 1 health at least. But that's like so close. So yeah, it can definitely go either way, especially if Achilles attacks with a feint. Yeah, if Achilles attacks with a feint right here, and he plays locked doors, that's 2 damage. Now he's at 3 health, and then 1 6 value attack could kill him. So yeah, it might come down to him taking that double attack.
Yeah. I'd be curious to hear if there was an option to block that second half. I mean, you think there almost had to be, but
95% sure there was.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's game.
Yeah, good game.
Oh.
He just survives.
Yep.
Survives at 1 and deals 2 back.
Wow.
You did it earlier, so it wasn't out of the question.
Yeah.
I 100%. If I was Crockpot, I was like, this guy is attacking me with a feint. He has 2 feints, and he has what? How many cards in deck? I can barely read this. 3? 100%. I wouldn't have played locked doors there.
Ooh, no feints. They were
No
they were
feints.
bottom 3. Both of the other feints.
Wow.
I still like the attack there from Bjorn because, like you're saying, you're almost always expecting the feint there, and so it's a real risk to play the locked doors. But
yeah, I'm looking at his other defenses though. I mean, if he plays a feint, it's 5 value attack. You're taking 2 damage with your other defenses and going down to 3, which puts you into lethal range. If well, I mean, you got a heal actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This came down pretty close.
Very close, extremely.
Yeah.
I'll turn up the players here so we can hear their post game.
That was the interesting part. Normally you do, but now it
It was
makes
so hard to
sense.
choose the map because of that.
Yeah, it makes sense that you didn't though. But I wasn't gaining enough from running away. Also, I think that's what I was kind of sad about. I only got 1 of my feints, so the other 2 are actually in the bottom 3. So
that's so unlucky.
That's
Well, so
really
you
bad.
played
That's
2
really
because
bad.
You did recover
Yeah.
it back, but that is unlucky. Yeah.
I took it back twice, so I actually played 3 feints.
Okay.
But that was the same feint over and over again, basically.
Yeah.
Because I just...
You would have had 5 feints that game. It did feel like a lot of the stuff. Was
Yeah.
getting
Yeah, I think that kind of hurt me in the end because let's say I did aggressively feint this one.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool because then you still take 2 damage, I still draw. And then this is kind of lethal, I guess. Yeah, except for against this one.
Right.
You can one more time you can survive, and I was already quite low, so it was definitely.
But you would have also pulled another feint at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you could have got me down to 1 health with your feint attacks. But then you're pulling cards. Oh, see, I don't know. Who knows how that would have gone?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Mine was weird because I finally pulled. First off, I don't know all the one copy cards that are cool art. I don't know what they are, so I didn't know what cards were coming up.
I also find it really hard to remember. They're not super impactful, but I think
and I didn't know
in some cases they can impact.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Yeah, they're not super impactful, but in some cases they can be quite useful. So you definitely don't want to, I think, forget about them. Also, when you're playing against Sattler, but it's hard because they're just not super impactful, and therefore you tend to forget them.
Right. Well, in this situation, it would have been I could have used them for going over the feints, but I didn't have both of them. I only had one.
Yeah.
And so getting you to 1 health was pointless because you're gonna take 2 from fatigue. You'll take 2 from this.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
One didn't matter until I found out that I had a second one of these 3s, and I was like, oh. So
then
now
then it might
maybe
matter.
Maybe I should start attacking with these at some point, or use them to defend.
Yeah.
But that was a fun game. That was a really good game.
That was fun. Yeah, definitely. I had fun. It was very interesting too.
When you murdered Malcolm so early, that was...
Yeah, that was really necessary. I'm happy that worked out, because I guess you just didn't have any nice defense for him at that point, right?
Yeah. I had no defense. Yeah, when I just took those 2, I had no defense for him. I had this before the turn before I boosted with it, and I don't know if it was she has bad boosts. Like if he's dead,
true.
I found I have boosts. So like this, you can boost with this. I like to boost with these. In this game, it was a weird one because I was the aggressor, so it made sense to boost with these. Also.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I definitely think these tend to be kind of weak.
And the Malcolm cards, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah, it was very entertaining to watch.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the questions, Bryden, if you want to switch over to the Vorpal chat here, there was one instance where we were wondering about it was when the double attack came through. When I think Sattler had like 5 or 6 cards in hand, we were wondering for the second attack, which you just took, because the first one was the regroup, I think. Then you drew 2. Yeah. Did you have anything to block with, or was it just a situation where you wanted to preserve some of those tools?
This was my hand at that point.
Well, you took 2 double attacks to the face. The second part of the double attack, the 3 value. One you took to the face, like it was like up here, and then the next turn, I think you either attacked with this or like you defended his second attack with that the same turn. So I was like, okay, he took the 3 from this because the next attack, I think it was, he attacked you healed. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, right?
So,
but then
yeah,
there was a second double attack. You guys were like down here, and you took to the face.
So on this one, the first one I played the regroup.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably gonna feint attack there. Expecting, because at that point he was at 4, and so I figured he was gonna feint attack to get rid of this auto damage.
Yeah.
And then he threw that, which worked out well, sort of, but also not, because I drew 2, which was great if I draw something that I can use. But I pulled this card and I pulled this card, I think. And so the draw didn't help me, and at that point I think I was at like 5 or 4 cards, I think. I had this, and I think I had 0.
Oh, okay, yeah. If that was your hand, then 100% I agree. Not
and it was like, it's one of those things where like at that point it felt like the hand advantage was needed, and the options were needed, and it's nice to know exactly how much damage I'm going to take. And I think I had both of these at that point. I might have just had one, but I for sure had at least one. And then also like, I don't know. It worked out, but I'm not sure. So what were your thoughts though on that, Brad?
Yeah, it worked out. It was just really close. That's why I thought this taking the second hit there when you went down to like 8 health, it ended up. I mean, the game was at 1-0, so like it ended up a little bit too close. Where I just thought you had something you should play, but I mean, it looks like maybe you just didn't have anything.
Right. If I had any of these, I would have played it. Even the Feint, I would have played it. I didn't have any of these cards.
Yeah, with the double attack, I was also worried that you might have...
Yeah, that was a real risk. I was like, that's a bold attack from Bjorn, because if one of these blocks... Well, I mean, if you had it for both halves, then it was just game. But if you had it for the second one, it's still really good on the second attack at that point.
This
Yeah,
last
that's true.
attack, though, how the game ended, I didn't think you were going to play this because I was like, I mean, he has 3 cards in deck. He had 4 in hand. I mean, 100% Bjorn is attacking with a feint in my eyes.
I was really hoping you would.
Right.
indeed
And that's the
think
idea,
about
right?
that.
So I like the attack there from you, Bjorn, because that's probably what is going through your opponent's head, but just going
really
for
a
it.
decision there. I just had only the skirmish as an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
but I
what
figured
I'm
it might
saying is
work,
that you
yeah.
could back off and not attack, but at that point you really
Yeah.
couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I felt like I kind of had to, yeah.
Yeah. So you,
I guess-
so I think it makes sense, and I like, you know, it's a risky call, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If he did attack with a feint there, you could then maybe attack with this next turn to heal and be safe. So I guess.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you still have some pretty
I
nice
had
options, I think.
these guys on the board, so I had 3. And
Yeah.
I was just thinking I had if he had attacked with the feint there, I felt like I had him dead.
Yeah, because then you could double attack him and maybe get something over there.
Get something exactly. I do
Oh,
the
yeah,
0
good
first, do the
point.
2 second, and then hopefully he's dead.
That's a good point, actually. I think that probably would have been the case, yeah.
Also, every attack I do that doesn't kill him, he draws a card, which gets him closer to death. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, and if he's like, there's so many options where if he is doing damage, then he's drawing a card. So like fatigue was my friend at that point. But yeah, it was very close. 1-0 is as close as it gets.
Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't have played that, but it did feel like, and he had already thrown that earlier, so the threat was there. It was real. But I can't just wait and hold these until his feints are gone, and then I'm just dead. So
Yeah.
you know, I had to go for
Mm-hmm.
what I thought was the best play to defend, hopefully kill him on the defense, and then if I need to, I'll kill him on the offense or run away, whatever my plan was.
Yeah.
I think I was going to attack him twice.
Yeah. Good call, I think.
Thanks.
Sure.
That's why I checked to see if Wally was there, because if Wally's there, then I'm in trouble.
Then you have problems.
That's less good, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll
Cool,
get the
fun game.
Yeah, I'll get the
fun
stuff
game.
loaded in for the second one, and we'll catch you after the next one. Or good luck, have fun.
Thanks.
Cool, thanks.
Oh man, that was nerve-wracking.
yeah, for me.
What's our next one?
All right, so game 2 is going to be Genie versus Luke Cage on Luke Cage advantage, and the map we're going to is Hirorot.
Alright.
Sorry if I scared you. Thanks for watching the video. This video takes a lot of time to make, and I just wanted to let you know there are a couple ways you could help me out so I can continue making content like this. Of course, you can comment, like, and subscribe. That's hugely appreciated. But also you can support me at patreon.com/Captain Crockpot. And then also, if you look down below, there's links to almost everything in this video, from the games to my video setup to my unmatched storage solution. It's all available because I totally back it 100%. And I want you to be able to have it. Most of the links are Amazon. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so I will make a small percentage. I wouldn't give you guys any recommendations that I would not buy myself. And most of everything that is in there, I have bought myself. Continue watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.
And we got another wardrobe change from Crockpot here.
Nice. Who's Crockpot? Is he Genie?
Yes, he is Genie on this one.
Okay. I play
I think I
neither of
heard
these
him say
characters.
This next shirt might be his favorite. There's a high bar after that Malcolm one.
Yeah.
There it is.
Is that the Will Smith Genie?
I'm not sure. It's like it looks like a dad Genie, honestly.
Yeah.
It's all like the glasses and the mustache.
Specifically because they are characters in Unmatched, or do you
Yeah,
already happen? Yeah, okay.
No,
Because
no,
this
I-
one you might already happen to. Already.
Yeah, right,
Like
no.
some of them don't make a lot of sense, but this one might have been the case.
No, I bought piles of shirts just for Unmatched. I'm gonna start
Awesome.
a channel on YouTube soon, and then I was like, oh, that'd be fun to have a shirt for every match I wear. Like,
Genie.
if I do a fight, I can wear a shirt.
Awesome.
But also, I love Unmatched so much, I'll literally wear these shirts out in public any day of the week. I don't care.
Then we need Luke.
Genie versus Luke Cage. I don't even think I've ever thought about this matchup because I play neither of these characters, so it's never gonna happen for me, anyways. So
I don't know. You're talking about Moon Knight, and you played him pretty well.
true,
the
but
other
like
night, so.
so many people play Moon Knight though, so like that's how I get my
Yeah,
practice from him. I just
that's
watch
fair.
the streams and I'm like, all right, this is how I play it. And then I have like that Excel document where I just have every matchup and I just write 1 or 2 sentences about it when I see a matchup. And so yesterday when I was playing against Baked Goods, I just pulled up the Excel and I was like, all right, play this at this time, play this at this time, and that was my Moon Knight practice. I don't think I've played him more than 3-4 times.
Yeah, and I mean it helps when you've played Unmatched as much as you have, right? Like you get a feel for stuff pretty quick, and seeing other people play them, like you're saying. So
yeah, I played like 10 games or something, 10 or 11 games total of Unmatched, so I'm pretty experienced. But yeah,
a true pro.
Yeah. So let's think about this. Luke Cage, 4 value defense, blocks every single attack from Genie. So if Genie first action attacks, Luke Cage 100% gets Trash Talk to go off. Luke Cage has Still Standing, 4 value attack. I think that automatically goes off, right? Genie's highest defense is a 3. So if Genie doesn't defend with a feint, Still Standing always goes off.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I mean, feint is like you're saying. I think feint's the only one. Yeah.
That's never good.
Yeah, I like this play. Going aggro into Genie, force him to overdraw, and then pull back. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I like this play. Luke Cage doesn't have that many defenses, though. The thing is, though, is Genie can't really... I mean, he can, but it's risky to, discard for a third action, because if he attacks into a Trash Talk, it's, he loses all those actions, so...
Yeah, you might want to, Still trying to set up some overlay stuff, so it's a little late on the timer, but we're good. Yeah, so... definitely going to be a bit difficult for Genie, because even if Luke doesn't block, like, most of your things aren't doing much to him. Of course, it does add up if he keeps just not blocking, but he'll likely be able to block a decent amount of your stuff.
Oh, there goes.
Oh boy.
Oh man, he was wishing he was hoping he played the Daughter of the Dragon now. I think that's a Trash Talk gone.
Yeah, I think you basically have to.
I don't know though, because if you stop Luke's aggression, can you just play the value like slow game as Genie and just kind of maneuver attack once, make him discard 8 cards, or 8 cards, and
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not the Genie pro. I don't know Genie that well. Zero Skater is probably like face palming in the chat. Like, what is this guy talking about? But
yeah, I'd be curious to see what he thinks about what would be discarded there. I don't think you're ever going to go wrong with Trash Talk, but yeah, I wonder if one of the dragons might be a little bit
because like
better.
if you maneuver and then attack Luke Misty's Trash Talk is only 2 value, but like if you maneuver and attack Luke, like you don't care if he Trash Talks, because a lot of your value, the value that you want to really get is Sultan's, which you just got to trigger.
Can do that
so
on defense if you want.
Yeah, Sultan's on defense 100%. But yeah, I feel like I would maybe, I'm not sure, but like maybe going for the value game and getting rid of Luke's offense, and then just maneuver once, poke Luke down a bit. Sounds doable.
So here he knows that the only block that Luke has is titanium.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a 4 value maybe. They both take 2.
Yeah,
I think that's a
trade
decent,
that Genie would take
trade.
every time. Yeah.
Yeah, because then he. Oh,
just decides to take it, trying to bait out the titanium.
Wow.
And a great take from.
Yeah.
I guess the thought process from Bjorn here is that if even if it is the 4, like, do you just want to deal the 2 back with titanium? I mean, I guess it's probably about the best you're getting, but just in case it is something else, because Crockpot knows you're trying to do that and maybe is just trying to bait out a defense. It's a reasonable take. It's not like you're taking less damage by playing titanium. It's just you're doing damage to the opposing fighter.
Yeah. I don't play Luke a lot. Does Luke only have 1 in 3 value boosts? I think he has a couple 2 value boosts, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of 2. There's not like a ton of 2s, but there are some 2s. One of them is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of them is the still standing, which you're usually not gonna boost with, of course.
Yeah, the only 2 value boosts would be got my back and maybe get paid are the 2 that I would use as boost cards to attack. What are your thoughts on this map?
So
Luke.
Yeah, so Hurot, it's an interesting one. It really, it's really bad for ranged fighters. So I feel like even though you're losing some utility with Misty, negating Genie's range advantage that he might be able to abuse more on maps that are more conducive to ranged fighters, I think is probably a good idea overall. Because ultimately, I don't know if you necessarily need Misty to be constantly like poking Genie from range, for example. So I think I like the pick overall.
I think if Misty were to die, it's 6 move. Is it 5 or 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the doors are closed, it's 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does Luke have the range to get to Genie if Misty dies?
Yeah,
that's my worry.
Yeah, depending on doors and stuff, that might actually be something he might have to worry about.
We could go all.
So while you do negate Genie's range on this map, maybe that does start to become a concern if you can't keep Misty alive.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe picking a map that has like a center space where you only need 4 movement rather than 5 or 6 to get to the opposing fighter would have been better here for Luke. Like T-Rex Paddock or something.
Yeah.
Because if Misty dies, then and there goes one of his 3 boosts.
And there's still some pockets on T-Rex Paddock that kind of let you hide on the sides if you need to. So it's not like Genie gets full range. It's not like on Solomon's or something where Genie can attack every turn, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do about it.
And Misty attacks Genie.
So not going to be surprised that this is Daughter of the Dragon, just to try to get some of that damage through. Another thing
I wonder why he didn't move Luke maybe 1 over. Let's see. He went 6, 5. Maybe because the initiative's on him and he wants to be closer to the middle.
Alright, it's still standing, and then a wishing for more wishes.
Then I first get to draw, and you get to draw 3.
Okay.
So Genie might just be trying to kill Misty here on his next turn.
Yeah. Both of the pushbacks are gone, so as long as he hits over a 2 to get rid of trash talk.
Yep, and the reshuffle happens after the draw, so Luke not going to have that trash talk available.
Yeah.
But
he's getting
could still
pushback.
have one in deck, I suppose.
Yeah.
Getting one of those 3 value boosts, kind of future-proofing against some of the issues you were alluding towards.
Now,
my turn.
If Genie wants to play an exhaustion game now, if he can defend with Sultans and pull the others still standing, he can 100% do it, I think. Also, if he saves up his 3 wishes in his hand, he defends with Sultans and then plays his 3 wishes. That means still standing automatically is gone, which is what you want, right? You want that recursion gone. So I think if he just saves up his 3 wishes and Sultans in hand and then plays like a longer fatigue game, I think that's what you want to do here as Genie.
Yeah.
Because once you get rid of that still standing, which you 100% can do. But yeah, I think that's what this is going to hinge on, I think. Daughter, two daughters. Yeah, 2 daughters of the dragons. So.
Yeah, so Misty has big blocks here. Not that Genie has huge values anyway. Yeah, we do see one of the 3s. Probably not going to use that effect in this scenario.
He only has 1 more action, right? He didn't discard for... For third
oh,
action?
yeah, he did not discard. Yeah, that's the case. So I know there's still a daughter. Don't know if there's other options. She's gonna take this one. It's gonna be a freed. So that's gonna be 3. Does he just do this to Misty, or does he try to get the auto damage into Luke when he can?
If he goes over to Luke, you have to assume Luke... I mean, Luke can get a hit in and then maneuver once and be out of range of Genie. So I think you don't go by Luke. I think you take center stage.
I'll stay there. I'll deal you one more.
Oh, not center stage. Sorry, he's doing the damage. Yeah, so I would deal it to Misty.
I think that's.
I don't know
fair.
his
You do
hand,
want
but
Misty out of the way.
Yeah, so you could still deal me one if you go the other way of Misty.
I'll go there.
Wait.
Okay, so one more.
He has to place them in a different space. It's a
Oh,
mandatory.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He couldn't go in his own space.
I don't want to. I can't. You can give it.
Yeah, because he has to place in any empty space, and that one's currently not empty.
Okay, sure.
So he's gonna go for Luke.
Alright, so Luke takes 1.
I think Luke here now is just gonna hit with a 6 because he knows. Oh no, I forgot the interaction. Genie has that one card that it's like deduce or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and
changes to
isn't
the boost
Luke's
value.
6 value a 1 boost?
I believe that's the case. Yes.
So I think if you just if Crockpot defends with that right now.
I think no matter what Luke's hitting with, other than a regroup.
Yeah.
A
exactly,
regroup would
yeah.
get boosted. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
so now,
the
I mean,
boost
you-
card goes to a 1, and then he can boost it, but it only does
Yeah,
that much.
it does 3, but then now he's at a good range to lamp.
Yep.
So.
Yep, because lamp immediately.
And he's got a waste of 3.
So yours is the one, but you made boost.
Needs to be missing 4 to be able to get full value from the healing on the lamp.
Yeah. And I think Luke is just gonna maneuver after this.
Yeah. I don't know if he even bothered boosting here as Luke. Because it denies the lamp from
20 to
still being a
17.
decent block.
Yeah, I think so because then.
And like you can recur stuff with still standing, assuming that it doesn't get yanked like you're talking about. So as long as you're careful of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, no boost. I think I like that.
Oh. And
Keeping Misty out of that dark gray zone so Genie can't maneuver there and attack her.
I will maneuver.
Both players have quite a few cards. Still no 2 cards in Luke's hand. 1 Daughter the Dragon and 1 skin like Titanium. And then 4 unknown at this point. Don't know anything about Genie's hand.
I feel like, yeah, Genie should go in right here and attack. Misty can't get over and attack. Either.
Yeah.
Genie would go to 6 cards though. Luke would go to 5. Then Luke could double maneuver away.
I don't know if like Luke's a hard counter, but it just feels so bad for me. Like this does not feel good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Hey, I got the first win, so you.
Crockpot doing a good job. Something I was going to mention earlier, but it's really good that he was able to win that first matchup because I think the next 2 are pretty rough for the fighters he lined up.
Is he Drac or Sinbad?
He's Sinbad.
Oh, yeah.
So this one can be rough for Genie at times, and then the Sinbad Drac one is definitely Drac favored.
I'll take it.
Good damage there.
Taking this one and does get 2 through, so that's a good start.
Alright, that's good. It's also good though with that card. Your turn.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So this one, it's funny with it normally, if the opponent doesn't move away, it's guaranteed to get at least 1 damage, either with the effect or the value. But against Luke, Powerman does kind of shut this down pretty hard. We're going to see an I Grant You Death dealing some more auto damage. The last one is used from range into Luke is basically a bait for that Titanium. But this one will get through, so Luke down to 9. Gets 2 damage there and then draws 2, so pretty heavy hand.
And I'll attack you again.
Going to attack again. Might see a 6 come out here.
I mean, if this is not the 6, then I will be shocked.
Lamp's still not getting full value because Genie would only
Yeah.
get 3. But a lamp still does basically put you at
Yeah, this makes it.
You shocked me. You shocked
It makes it
me.
hard to play, like, you know, the long game for Genie now, because he's played 2 of those cards, so he's drawn 6 cards on defense.
He is actually going to force Luke to overdraw here, though, because Luke will draw 1 from the regroup and then 1 from the wishing for more wishes.
That is
so
true.
Luke is going to have to dish a card. And that actually is the regroup, the perfect lineup into the card that you want to play against the 6, which is the parlor trick, because that'll make regroup a 3 since it's a 3 boost for Luke, and it would be hitting over and drawing 2 cards.
Yep. What are deck counts at? 15 on Luke, 13 on Genie.
So still fairly even though 2 wishing for more wishes have been played. We have seen it get paid and some regroup draws though from Luke's side.
Did Luke draw both get paid or just 1? I think he boosted with 1.
He boosted with 1 and played the other. That last turn.
He's drawn 1 off regroup, 2 off that, and then he's drawn 2 off of wishing for more wishes. So
This is a tough cookie. This is.
Same maneuver here. Still not using ability as Genie.
Yeah, I agree with not using the ability.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's not like you're getting a ton of extra value out of that extra action. And you don't want to push yourself further into exhaustion. Especially before
he
you
could first action attack. First action attack Luke. Just kind of not have to draw if he's playing the longer game.
Looks like he might want some of the adjacency effects, though.
Yeah.
And that will full block.
Yeah.
It's another reason not to do the action gain, of course, because if Trash Talk is around, you can't get over it with any of your stuff, and it will end the turn, and you'll have wasted that extra action, so you'll have discarded the card for no reason, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely tricky.
So still 2 Trash Talks left since 1 was shuffled back, was still standing.
Yep.
Luke's still a little bit ahead in deck, which isn't surprising given how much Genie can draw. Luke also staying at a fairly high hand count, which is usually good against Genie because if you're too low, he can just wish all your cards away and you can run into some issues. Luke, less susceptible to that than most fighters because he always has a passive 2 block essentially. And a lot of Genie's cards are 3s, so he's probably not, I mean, unless Luke's at a very low health total, he's not really at risk of that same combo that other fighters are.
Great map choice.
Thanks, yeah.
Still, you want to make sure that you can protect that still standing, and perhaps your Trash Talks as well. And if you're forced to discard your whole hand, if those are in it, it's not great for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking like Genie
His turn's over.
Genie can play the long game, though. I mean, he's winning on health. He has 3 lamps, so he's only taking 2 damage from the 6s. Luke only has 2 6s, right? Or does he have 3 Sweet Christmas?
He just has 2 Sweet Christmas.
2? Yeah, I mean, imagine if he just saves his wit. I mean, he hasn't used any 6s. If he just makes him discard, that could be really big.
Yeah, especially if he can hit the still standing at some point, either with Sultans or just discarding the whole hand. And Luke positioning here, showing some of the strength of these little pockets in Hero Rot against ranged fighters. If Genie wants to attack either fighter, he does have to end adjacent to them, so...
Does not want his turn to end.
Yeah.
So he's attacking with a 3.
Yep.
Into Misty.
Going after Misty here, which...
Or a 4, but...
Yeah. It's gonna cancel it. It does cancel the freed, so...
Yeah, but I think it's a good play by Genie there.
Oh wait, that was my
No,
second.
you got 1 more.
Yeah, and it doesn't end the turn, so that's correct.
Genie can still discard 7 of Luke's 19 cards.
Yep.
I'll attack Misty again.
Attacking Misty once more.
Yeah, I think getting that Misty value out and then kind of kiting around could...
Daughter of the Dragon not online currently, just a blank 2. Still would protect her against the 3, but does not protect her against the last 4.
Yeah.
Pushback would also not do it.
Another
trash talk. Another 3.
Wow.
Getting 1 damage over. Ooh.
Looks like he was going to try and deal 2 damage to Luke there.
Wait, you just took 1, right? Only 1?
Only 1, yeah.
And then,
Yeah, that actually would have been pretty solid.
Yep, I agree.
So that trash talk, it is the last trash talk until they get cycled, but that's actually a good one to cancel. Because yeah, that he could have discarded 2 to deal 2 to Luke, and I think at that point it might have actually been worth it.
Luke has what now? 2 power man, 2 regroups as defenses, and then like 1 skin like titanium. But okay, that's big.
First Sweet Christmas goes into a grant you death, so it'll be 1 damage back to Luke.
Second action, I'll maneuver.
Yeah, so there's a skin like titanium, 2 regroups. Yeah, the 2 power men. I think you're right. I think that's all that's left.
I'll maneuver.
Yeah, it's 3 more 3 boosts. So he can still hit with 6s on his boost attacks. Good move, good positioning by him, I would say. I think he might. He's not in center though, and Luke can run back, forcing Genie to boost in.
Yeah.
So we might see a wish, maybe. The problem is if you don't wish all at the same time, he's probably just gonna. If you just use like 1 wish right now, he's just gonna discard like the 0 value garbage in his hand.
Yeah.
Like a skin like titanium and some other card he doesn't need. Center stage in this map is that middle all yellow space, I believe. That's the center here.
Equally the same from each side.
I was already...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'll do like this. I'll maneuver again.
So yeah, it's gonna be a discard from Genie, or it's gonna be a boost or a wish.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably still plenty of cards he wouldn't mind just getting rid of here.
Yeah.
So might just try to take the center stage like you're saying. And
I have a question. If he opens that door right there, I don't play on this map, so I hate it. If he opens that door right there, on the, you know where Genie started his turn?
Yeah.
Okay, can he attack Luke actually? Because the door only stops the line, the spot with the lines, right?
Yeah. So essentially, this top.
So Genie can attack, right?
Yeah.
Genie can open the door and attack.
I think that's true.
I looked at the rule book earlier because I was like, wait, how do doors work? Because like, I still don't know how it works.
So I know for sure. So the top door that Luke is nearest to right now, that red and orange zone to the left of him, that is currently not part of any zone. It's its own zone on the map. But Luke is in the yellow, and Genie is in the yellow. So as soon as that door opens, that space Genie's in becomes part of the yellow zone again. And nothing's cutting off the one that Luke's standing on, I don't think. If a door crosses the shortest path, those zones are not shared. Okay, so it would still cut it off. It makes sense, because that's how it looks like it should be. But yeah, so it's the closest path from where you're attacking to where you're attacking the opponent. So because that does go through that door, that also does stop it. So yeah, he actually cannot attack. It is a little confusing when it comes to that, but it does work how it seems like it should. Which is that he would not be able to attack Luke from there, and that makes sense. Thank you for the clarification, Levin. All right, if it's still standing here, it's not.
Got his defenses, but I mean, he gets a free kill on Misty here if he gets rid of the daughter.
Yep.
But I mean, I wouldn't get rid of the daughter. I would just double attack Misty next turn. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd get rid of.
Getting rid of
that,
Power Map.
or get rid of the yeah, because I mean that is 1 damage on him. I would say that or the scheme, but you have to assume that when Bjorn gets still standing, he's going to use it that turn.
Yeah.
I would think. Because he has to be scared of wishes at this point. Only problem is Genie has 3 feints, so maybe he doesn't use it right away. Maybe he's gonna be, you know, fishing out a feint or 2 first, and then use still standing. That gives Crockpot an opportunity to use all wishes in the same turn and make him discard still standing.
Yeah, it
and then went through exhaustion.
Through both.
Yeah.
I like the choice from Bjorn there, because he's probably not going to want to risk going into attack unless, you know, that risk isn't there of... And now that Sultan's is gone, he can attack a bit more freely as well.
Yeah.
Even once still standing gets in hand. So he might be able to afford to hold on to it depending. Because as long as he keeps a high hand count, he does have to... like, Crockpot has to have all 3 wishes, essentially, in order to ditch everything at this point if he stays at a 5 or 6 hand count.
Okay with Misty, and if not, can I even...
If this is a 3, Misty's guaranteed... Well, no, she's not guaranteed dead, because a card was drawn that he doesn't know about, so she could have drawn something to block with, but it would have to be, I guess, exactly got my back.
Yes, or... yeah. It would have to be.
Effects you want to use?
Technically, it could have been a regroup, I guess, too, if he was attacking with no parlor trick, but...
Yeah, more likely.
That's a little too risky.
3, yeah. If he moves away, so daughter is only a 2 and gets the 3, she only would 1 health left, so more likely to be a 3.
I almost feel like maybe you attack and try and get him to play daughter, so that's 1 less boost and 1 less card you have to draw. Because he would still be, what, 4 spaces away from Luke, and then... So Luke would still have to boost to get to him. So I wonder if that was maybe a better play, so he wouldn't have to draw. Because, I mean, this is going to get down to the wire. If Luke can use still standing and bring cards back into his deck, then, you know, it's going to be tough for Genie here.
So you maneuver first action from Luke. So depending on what he's drawn into, he might just still have a lot of cards he can't really do much with, because we saw a lot of blue, and we saw the 2 schemes.
I think Luke's looking pretty decent here, I would say.
I don't hate his position for sure. Even
he
if
has
to overdraw here, it's like he's got...
He has 2 3 boosts, and he has 2 hero for hire, so that's 2 more 6s there, and then he has 1 more 6 from Sweet Christmas. That's at least 2, 4, 6 damage at minimum, unless... Yeah, because this is no parlor trick, only sucks if Sweet Christmas is attacked. Is the attack. So I think Luke has this, unless there's some crazy wish play that goes on.
Yeah, which is always a possibility with Genie.
Correct, yep.
Both him and Houdini have crazy combo.
How many spaces does Power Man move him? 3? 3 spaces? Yeah. Is there a place Genie can be where if he first action attacks Luke can push him 3 spaces away, but Genie is still in his zone? I don't know if there's a spot like that on this map, but that's what I'd be looking for if I was Crockpot. Because you want Luke to come in and attack you and end next to you and then combo him. But the thing is, it looks like he's looking for that spot right now. But the thing is yeah, deck counts are looking a little iffy, and Luke also has 2 schemes where he can use a scheme, attack, and then maneuver away out of your zone.
Yeah, I've been trying to look at it, and I don't think, like, the closest was maybe be somewhere in the yellow. Like, if Luke is in maybe yellow and dark gray, but either way, you can kind of be shifted over to the orange zone or out one of the doors. I don't think there's a spot that you can stop that from happening.
Yeah. But, I mean, if he... Power Man's after combat, so he can triple wish, and make him discard 6 cards, and then attack with a feint, and then also do his ability. So then he has 2 more attacks after that.
Yeah.
One is a 4, and then I don't know his other attacks. I'm not really full on counting, but he can do 2 damage with a 4, and then I don't know. Is there another 3 value that he has?
So
because
actually, does he? Let's see. So we've got the 3 feints. We got one of the 4s. Both of the Wishes My Command are gone. Both the I Am Freed are gone. Both the Imprisoned Wraths are gone. There's
so does he have to? I think he has to either 4 value Wish to get the damage to kill, or he has to be able to win an exhaustion by discarding his Still Standing.
Yeah.
Because even if he attacks with Still Standing and Genie feints, it's still 2 damage he's taking. And that puts him at 4, and then another 6, another boosted attack, he's dead. So, yeah, it's looking a little rough for Genie here.
Yeah.
Attack Genie.
Yeah, so
lamp.
you take 1 damage.
One. Yep.
He's drawing though. So it's 4 to 4. He could go for a feint attack. He's calculating some wish stuff right now.
This is the weirdest game.
Luke only has 3 more defenses. One is a skin like titanium, which is pretty much a wash. I mean, not fully a wash, but it's...
He doesn't necessarily need to rely on that. Yeah, another situation is the lamp, even though you effectively don't take any damage, like net, against Still Standing does win since you lose the combat, since it's a 0 value. So you take 4 combat damage, you just healed it back prior. So that doesn't stop it. The feint is the only thing that stops Still Standing at this point, right? Or yeah, because the parlor trick doesn't do it.
I just don't think Genie has the damage if Luke gets 1 Still Standing off.
Yeah.
If Luke gets 1 Still Standing off, I mean, then Genie can't really win an exhaustion at that point, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to stop the Still Standing.
You have to stop the Still Standing. And if he doesn't stop the Still Standing, he has to go for some crazy 4 value combo wish play.
Yeah.
Or else he's not winning this.
And
I don't know exactly.
He might be able to combine the 2. Like if he can stop the Still Standing, he then might be able to use one of the wishes as a 4 value.
Yeah.
To get some damage over Luke. And then between that and the fatigue damage could get it. But the other issue Genie's running into here when he only has 5 health left is if he feints trying to catch the Still Standing and it's a Sweet Christmas, he takes 4.
Yeah.
And then at that point, the boosted attack is lethal, even over a feint.
I think at the very least, you want to try and get in a place where if he schemes, he can't just maneuver 1 after. Like, you don't want Luke to be able to scheme, attack you, and then maneuver out of your zone. So I don't know where that space is, but you want to get into that space. And like you said before, if he Sweet Christmases and Genie feints, he's at 1 health now, and then a Power Man kills him.
Yeah, Power Man.
So
hero for hire, even feint.
He's got to go for some crazy play. I think it was Zero I was talking with, but my thought on before the tournament started was Genie would have a low win rate, and he also wouldn't be picked too much. A big thing that is because of the timer.
Yeah.
Genie's turns are so thinky, like you have to think about what you're doing with your wishes. If you do the wrong thing, like one time, like mess up 1 wish, you can just lose the entire game. You have to really know how to play each matchup and how to play the wishes in each matchup, which is like a huge learning curve. And then on top of that, I don't think Genie is like the highest of tier anyways. So it's like a ton of effort to be like a solid like mid-tier character. I just didn't see a lot of people playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Genie's one of those that's interesting to me because I still haven't spent anywhere near enough time to figure him out myself. But I've seen
Same.
some of the stuff he can do, like, and I know that Zero's put in a decent amount of time
Yeah.
with him. And he can be very scary. So I was always worried about opponents picking him and just having that potential. But yeah, I think it's the thing where by the time that Summer of Legends rolls around later this year, I think we might see more people confident enough in Genie to take him and really take advantage of some of those strengths he has.
I wonder, why do you think he moved there, Genie, and ended his turn?
8, so one more. I got one of these 4s.
Maybe trying to...
It does hit every space in one maneuver.
Yeah.
I'll play Press My Money.
But again, he can do this attack and maneuver and be out of the zone. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if his wishes, like, if there's like a wish or two on the bottom, because I feel like there was the play to like just use your wishes and just try for something, because you're not winning this game, this like 50-50 coin flip if he plays a 6 and you play, so he's only taking 1. He's really trying to get the feints out.
Yeah.
If he had the 6, I think he would have played it there.
Yeah. And now the problem is he is now dead to the 6 if he feints it and it's not the still 6.
Yeah. Comes down to that.
And because of that, maybe you just always throw the 6 or the still standing, but maybe Crockpot risks the feint block, kind of like how he risked the lock the doors in the last one. So that might also be something that Bjorn's considering after seeing that Crockpot's not scared to take the risk.
He probably, I mean, Bjorn's probably counting what's left. I don't know if...
Oof, makes the wrong call.
Alright.
Yeah, you still win. I took 1 damage.
Yeah. Okay,
so that would have been great against the 6, but it is the still standing.
Yeah.
And Genie guaranteed to have a wish in hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't used any yet, has the standard 3 and only 2 cards left in deck, so definitely had the option to feint there, but was worried about the 6, which is why I was saying that maybe you just throw the still standing as Bjorn and hope that he tries to hedge against the 6.
Yeah.
Bjorn might also not have the 6. At least not the Sweet Christmas. Could have the Hero for Hire perhaps with a 3 value boost, but...
The thing is, now Luke just runs. So I'm not
Yep, gets back to still standing. The other still standing and a trash talk.
It's rough because, I mean, if he wishes away, he can't 3-wish right now because he only has 5 cards in hand. So, like...
Just doing double trash
talk,
I think the 1 cycle was probably enough.
You can shuffle it.
Getting back 2 trash talks is just insurance.
Cool. Okay.
Well, that's 2 cards that aren't attacks at least. So, let's see.
It's the first.
How many attacks does Luke have left? 1, 2, 3. Does Luke only have 3 attacks left? Sweet Christmas and 2 Hero for Hires? Because if Genie can if Genie can attack his like passes, then yeah, I mean he's discarding things that he can't even really afford to attack with, so it's fine on Luke's part, I believe. He has a Power Man.
Yeah, we know Power Man's in hand.
And Sweet Christmas.
So he did have the Sweet Christmas.
Okay.
So he did have the option to attack with that instead of still standing. So Bjorn made the right call when making that choice.
Yep.
There's no way I win this game. It's just.
So the only cards left for Luke are...
I think you were playing quite well though, because...
Let's see. Got my back, 2 trash talks that he shuffled through. Power Man, so that's 4 defenses. Then he's got 2... Yeah, so it's those 4 defenses and 2 Hero for Hires. So if Genie can use the attacks as passes, what does Genie have left? He has a 3 wishes, he has 3 feints, and a 4. So he can just start attacking with the feints. They're not going to do any damage, but they're passes, like you're saying. I don't know if that quite gets there because Luke still has
not.
5
His
cards
health
in
is
deck.
too low.
Yeah.
Yep.
If Luke
Oh man, that's scary when that's
didn't
Oh,
have,
yeah.
I didn't even
Oh,
realize when it
just
gets
noted
sub
that.
1 minute it goes to seconds,
Yeah.
hundredths of seconds as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it really just hinged on that still standing and
Yeah. I think if that had been fainted,
discard that card,
Yeah.
and then I will attack.
get in 2 through.
it's getting that health differential.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Was because you gained.
No, I didn't gain any actions. I had no cards to discard. I had nothing.
No, but didn't you start with all the wishes, which helped you gain actions? Or did you do like one maneuver before that?
I did not maneuver.
He only attacked with a 4, right?
Yeah.
I think he has one more action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they know though.
Yeah. They're getting into here. It doesn't matter too much here.
Oh, wait,
Timer's
let
not.
me
Yeah.
walk away.
You can walk away.
I'll walk right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for Luke to go on. You just maneuver and it's over.
I guess.
Yeah, it really came down to still standing recursion.
You got some time back.
It's a minute 25. Yeah.
You got some time back. I just thought it was like 1 second.
No.
Yeah, so
You have 3 feints.
yeah, 3 feints all that's left for Crockpot, so they can be used to pass, but they don't get any damage through.
Crazy.
And yeah, so if the still standing didn't go through, so Luke would be at 3 cards here in deck instead of, so he would be going down to 1 card if he double maneuvered, though he would probably go in for an attack. I don't know, it might have been close. I think Genie would have still maybe been in a rough spot regardless, because the Sweet Christmas would have been the problem, because the only blocks Genie had left were feints actually, other than the parlor trick. So as soon as, I guess you have the parlor trick, so if you can line up the feint into the still standing and the parlor trick into the Sweet Christmas, maybe you get there, but it'd still be very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn, no fear taking this.
Yeah, he said all of his 3 feints are bottom 4.
Yeah.
I think that's actually good for Genie in this case. I think feints are pretty bad in this matchup for Genie. So.
Yeah.
Alright, good game.
Yep, that's gonna be it.
Oh my gosh, that was the most frustrating.
Yeah, this is why I don't play Genie. It's like so thinky and so like mentally taxing on you.
Yeah.
And he takes like a lot of matchup knowledge.
Yeah. Turn the players up here.
Full advantage.
Yeah.
I think I still lost against Luke, I think.
Yeah. So my win con.
He's tough.
My win con was you having 6 cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You kept ending at an odd number. Like if you didn't have the power, I could have at least hit you for like 4 damage, which would have been more respectable. So there were so many things that just never worked out. I couldn't keep these in my hand. Just the way it was going, I didn't have them. I just couldn't keep them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'd keep them. If you watch my screen, it was a nightmare. So I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'll get rid of 4 cards at least, and then I'll up my feints to 4s. But they were the bottom 3 out of the 4 cards, so I couldn't even get those to 4s. So I was left with no attacks. But I had to kill Misty because I didn't want to get pinned. If I got pinned, I was dead.
I think that's fair. I really wanted to try and keep Misty alive. That's why I also just threw out all my trash talks. At one point, I believe my hand was something like this.
Yeah.
And I was no wait, actually one more trash talk actually, but it's not in there. So I had all blues.
Yeah.
I think I did have like 1 Misty card. I think something like this. Or it was this. This I couldn't do anything with Luke, but I was also worried like if you were gonna let me discard 6 cards right now, then I lose everything that I have for defenses. So I was worried about that. So that's why I rather just use them. And I think that's also when I drew into a regroup and attacked you with that. Just because, yeah, if I just now wait until you do like your 6 discard turn, then I do lose like all my good defenses, so I better just start using them anyway, and hopefully they can be a bit annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
If I had my feints, I think I could have stopped your infinite.
True, I guess so, because that was getting kind of close still, so I was worried about not getting that off and then getting some fatigue damage. So
I think you got it off 3 or 4 times. The last one, where I had 4 health, I would not have fainted, but I think I could have stopped it prior to that ever happening.
Yeah.
You only got one.
Yeah, one turn I did misplay. I played. It worked out in the end. I did misplay one thing. I played.
Oh yeah, it was only one before that one at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
I defended with
this. It was the first one that he played, and then.
And this is what possibly cost me like the chance of winning. I played that instead of playing the back end of the lamp. I was at 5, I think, or 6.
Okay.
And I needed this at that point for my attacks, because I needed to change my attacks before. I didn't have enough attacks in my hand, so I needed to play
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
And when I played that card, it was like, oh no, now I only have 2 attacks in my hand, or 1 attack in my hand. So it was like, I never had any cards to get that. When I had this combo, I've never played Genie and gone for this whole combo thing, because to do it right, you have to have these 3 cards, but you also have to have 3 attacks, and you have to have a 3rd card or 7th card that you can discard, which you kept attacking me, so I was always at 6 cards. Or it was
it's tricky. Yeah, it's definitely not easy to pull off, and then still when you can pull it off, you might not gain enough from it. You might indeed not have the great attacks. Yeah, and I think especially against Luke, you need specific ones. Some of them just don't really matter.
Yep.
That's also very scary. I think it's a tough matchup for Genie for sure.
Yeah,
I think the map doesn't help.
Terrifying. Yeah. What map did I ban?
Which one did you ban?
Oh, I banned Raptor Paddock.
I think so. Which is fair.
I don't know which. I think because again if I get pinned in that Raptor Paddock, I'm dead as well. So I don't know. This map is really, really rough for range. Again, I didn't care though, because I was fine with going to fatigue. Like that was my game plan. Yeah. And then I never got my feints, and the recursion happened, and then it was over. Like immediately, it was over.
Yeah.
And then, and I had to defend with this. You attacked, and I had to defend with that because I had no other defense. I was at it was just, I don't know if it was just bad RNG or like misplays. I can't really look at it objectively.
I think you had some bad luck for sure.
Oh, and then this, I didn't get anything of value with this. You had a hand of like 6 cards. I'm like, okay, hopefully I'll get this other standing. Didn't get it. And I did something else that was stupid with one of those. It was like so I definitely misplayed at least 3 misplays for sure. So that was on me. But also you played it really well. I mean, you played great.
Just hopping in here. Very, very exciting game. There were definitely points for both players that that it could have gone either way. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to note is I don't even think you necessarily messed up at the end there, Crockpot, because basically for the second one of these that you used at the end there that went into the still standing, it was essentially like a 50-50 whether Bjorn was attacking with Christmas or still standing.
Exactly.
And if you fainted and it was still standing, then I think you actually had a way out. But if it's Sweet Christmas and you faint, you go down to 1, and now you're dead to Hero for Hire, which there are still 2 copies of, even if you fainted.
Right.
And so you had to make that call, and those 50-50 calls are not always going to go your way, because if it had been reversed and the still standing stops there, the only other time it had been used was the first one. So if you stop still standing from recurring a second time, you can usually get there in fatigue, even though you had drawn some stuff with like the wishes earlier. But yeah, that it came down to that near the end there, and unfortunately not the one you're looking for. But yeah, no, definitely really close all the way to the end. And if that recursion gets stopped and Genie can do some attacks to pass after ditching all of Luke's cards, like there was room there, but yeah, the feints all being pretty low, so you couldn't stop the earlier still standing.
3 of the bottom 4, like that was rough.
Yeah,
That's
You had
definitely rough.
again last game you had 2 of your feints in the bottom, whatever.
Yeah, bottom 3, I think.
Yeah, the feints are really shy this set so far.
Now we're tied up. It's even.
We're not using any feints.
I wish that both of us get our feints earlier in this next game.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Right, any other thoughts, Bryden, before we get the next one going?
No, it was well played by both. I think it really did just come down to him getting this last still standing off. I thought you were going to do something like, I think you were holding on to your wishes the whole game, right? For some kind of end
I
turn.
had 1 at the start, so I kept my hand. I had 1 at the start. I got my second one halfway, a little bit before halfway, and then my third one at halfway. And I never, from that point on, I never had a chance to get him with no cards, or a chance to attack 3 times. But it was such, I don't know. Yeah, there was never a moment after that where it was like, okay, this is the turn. This is the turn to go in. Like, this is the turn to discard, get your stuff, and go for it. And yeah, that felt awful.
And it's really rough against Luke too. I was just gonna note, because unlike other characters where you can ditch their whole hand and then attack them 3 times, that's probably not killing Luke just because of his passive block on his ability. You're still probably getting a good amount of damage in if you have some of the 4s, but you can't necessarily just kill him immediately like you can with other characters. So ditching the whole hand is still, I think, pretty good, especially if you play towards exhaustion like you were, which I think is probably the call in this matchup. And you're more looking to hit attacks from Luke, so he has less things to either hit you with and pressure your health, or to pass, essentially, as well as hitting that other still standing would have been great.
Right. Well, and so what's interesting, with his passive, it's such a good matchup for him, because the combo is a 12 damage attack, which should hit for 12 damage if the person has no cards, but that's only 6 damage to Luke. So lethal was 6 for him, and that's if I had all the cards to do it, which I don't. So it was like it just felt awful. And then also the other thing is you got Trash Talk and you have Power Man. So if I attack him turn 1 and I have 3 actions and I'm at 6 cards, because I discard 1, or let's say I use my wishes, whatever. I don't know what do you want. Let's say I've got 3 actions. Well, he just does this, and then I can't attack him anymore. Or he does this, and I've lost the combat, and now I can't attack him anymore, and it's his turn, and I'm adjacent to him. So I had to basically move away every time and attack. It just, I don't know. Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah. Because with all those facts said, you're not gonna be dealing a ton of damage to him. You actually did do a pretty good job at dealing damage to him with some auto damage things. But with those facts, since you're not gonna be killing him, I think the play is to you need to put in your head okay, I have to go for an exhaustion win, so I have to go for when he goes into attack later game, you had 3 feints, so he's not gonna still standing right away probably until he fishes out a feint. So you can go for this as a defense when he last action attacks you, see his hand, and then if he has a still standing and some good attacks, that's when you go for the combo of that. But yeah, I think the entire matchup really just, after he got one of these off, I think I would save both of these until after he uses one of these. So you have 2 opportunities to pull the last one, since this entire matchup hinges on.
So
that's
now,
a good point. Yeah.
I agree with you, and
That's
going
smart.
forward, I will do that. I totally 100% forgot that he had still standing. Until it showed its stupid head, and I was like, "Oh no, that's the win con." And I'd already played one of these. My first defense, I think I played it, because it was "Hey, first turn, let me get a good card out of his hand," and I didn't. I just got
Hey, that's kinda
I got trashed. It wasn't terrible, but
I think Trash Talk, you don't care, because since you play towards exhaustion, there was one play here where Missy was here and you maneuvered and then attacked her. I would just straight up attack her twice. She was at 1 health. She had a Daughter of the Dragon. If you attack twice, that's you're not drawing any cards to your deck. And if you're playing towards exhaustion, if you attack her twice, you're keeping your I call it a deck timer, because if you keep your deck and you're not drawing that entire turn, that's a win for you.
So I wanted to, I couldn't.
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense if you're holding on to 3 wishes, yeah.
But I think at that point I had like this, maybe this.
That's tough.
Just attack with the lamp.
And I don't know at what point.
Just throw the lamp at Misty.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I know it's a 6, so I have to go away from her to threaten. Oh, that's right. I maneuvered and I pulled this. I maneuvered and that gave me this card, which at that point
I think it was.
I thought about throwing this to because I figured he would take it, knowing that I was gonna probably attack with a 3. But also, it wasn't worth the risk. This was so much more valuable as a defense against Sweet Christmas. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well played by both of you. I was sitting there like, yeah, this is they're doing like some good plays here. So.
All right, enough of that crap one. Let's go to the next.
Well, I mean, is the next one any better? I don't think so, but we'll
I've never played it, so I know it's supposed to be like.
Well,
I think it can be close.
I saw it played in the stream just a couple days ago, but I haven't played it myself, so I don't know.
I haven't played it either. I just hear it's a crazy one, so yeah, we'll see.
All right.
All right. Well, best of luck. Catch you guys after.
Cool.
Looks
I'll
like
be
another
back in a
costume
second.
change. Yep.
Yeah, no custom change for me, but I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll be right back as well.
Yep. No problem.
Got a little better luck with this shirt last time, so hopefully it comes through again. Man, I hate Luke Cage. Ugh, I hate playing as him. I mean, I enjoy it sometimes, but some games are just awful. And then there's some games that are just... Yeah, I've never played against Sinbad from Jurassic. And I don't think I've ever played as either of them on this map. But I'm not making excuses. Let's go.
All right, and I think it's my bad, but which side is who on for this one?
He picked map, so I get advantage.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. For the fighters.
I have Drac. I'm on the left.
Okay. Cool. Just double checking, because I'm pretty sure I might have put it wrong in my overlay. Because I when I was setting it up, I knew that you had Drac, but for some reason I must have messed it up. So I think everyone who's been watching is now going to realize that the matchup is switched. So. Surprise! Because once you put the Drac shirt on, I'm like, oh right. And then I looked at my overlay. I'm like, wait, I have that on the wrong side. So, yep. All right. Well, the stream gets a little surprised on who's playing who.
Not only a shirt, but also a mystery fighter. Sinbad, man, you went some toxic fighters. Sinbad is one of those. He's just one of those fighters. Although I guess Dracula is also. I hate playing as Dracula. That's why I started playing as him, and then I really enjoyed doing it. Basically, it's every single Drac game. Darkblade, do you remember our Drac game?
I
think you're the reason why I started playing Drac.
Was it? It was. Yeah, it was in. Yeah, here, one sec. It was in. Was it last Winter of Champions?
Yeah, I think so.
And it was my Drac into your. Was it Yen or Wukong?
Either Yen or Red. Yeah.
I think it was Yen.
Okay. Yeah, and it was. You murdered me, and I thought there was no chance. Now I realize that there could have been a chance, but the way I played it was no chance for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a while ago, but yeah, I think I remember that, because normally that's not a great one for Drac, but, you know, he's still got all the crazy tools, so he can definitely pull wins out that you're not expecting.
I'm scared. I'll shuffle your deck up. You can shuffle mine.
Sure, I'll shuffle.
Alright, so yes, this is my bad. I had this wrong on the overlay. I was
Alright, I'm back.
a bit distracted when I was setting up the overlay. So yeah, fun fact, Bryden. I had the sides wrong on this matchup. Crockpot is the one playing Drac, and Sinbad is on Bjorn's side.
Oh, poor guy. Should I go in there and tell him, oh, you're fine, never mind?
So
this isn't a bad matchup for you. It's probably in his head. He's like, oh my god.
Yeah, if you want to, feel free. but yeah.
Well, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I won't say anything.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Now Bjorn's gonna feel bad if he like doesn't win though. Bjorn's gonna be like, Bryden said this matchup was.
I think Bjorn's probably aware.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So I haven't actually done this, and I hate playing as and against Drac. I think he's the worst fighter in the game. But I think Sinbad. Let's see. Sinbad doesn't want Voyage Home in his starting hand, obviously, because Do My Bidding will pull it. So I think if you like Mulligan and you don't have Voyage Home, that's like just a win. And then honestly, he's gonna have to go in and play it pretty aggro, I believe.
Yeah.
He has Toil and Dangers to hit Drac and then run away, but I mean, Drac won't faint early, so you can Toil and Danger early on him as an attack and
Good luck, have fun.
be relatively safe there. If he lands 2 heal voyages and 2 discard voyages, which obviously is going to be hard, but if he's able to do that, I think he can win this.
I hope both of our feints or all of our feints are
In our
This is a big,
Yeah,
this is a swingy match.
Zero pointing out that I just pulled the old sleight of hand big reveal on the stream. Swapping out those fighters. But yeah, this one, this is because it makes sense now, because I was going into it, I was like, okay, I know that this first one can be a little rough for Crockpot as Sattler against Achilles, because it's typically a bit Achilles favored. But I was like, if he wins the first game, he's in a really good spot, because even though the second matchup is rough for Genie, the last one is quite good for Drac. And so if he wins that first game, he puts himself in a really good spot for the overall set. But then I was looking at him like, no, Sinbad's terrible in the Drac, so he's got to win another bad matchup, and it all makes sense now, because I just looked at the overlay. I'm like, I thought there was something wrong at the time, but I didn't realize until we were getting set up here. I'm like, oh yeah, that I just had those wrong. But at least the players weren't under any false pretenses about who was playing who.
Yeah. I wonder... See, I don't know Drac, so it's going to be... Okay, I thought he was going to do some kind of ravening play there.
Cool.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Drac. He's one that I've played a decent amount. I think he's... I'd have to look at my stat page, but I've played him a decent amount. But more importantly, perhaps, is that I've watched and commentated a bunch of Drac games during the Monster Mash, since he was one of the 4 fighters. And so I've seen a lot of Drac, and then I've obviously seen other top players play him, because he, as long as you can... Now he's not as highly picked, just because the Battle Legends 2 fighters, particularly Yenenga and Wukong, give him quite a bit of trouble. But if you can get some of those out of the way, then you're going to be fine. That's a bold take from Drac there.
See, I do take...
Right,
yeah, I do take undefended hits from Sinbad early if he's standing still. But the fact that he moved, that's...
Yeah, that could have been a shift, for instance.
Yeah.
Or one of the 4s, even though he might want to save those a little bit more for blocking himself.
Yeah.
It works out. Only takes 2 from the voyage.
Maneuver.
You could potentially get 3 damage here on Porter if you had a Ravening available.
Who cares about the Porter? Do we care about the Porter at all?
Crockpot wondering if he cares about the Porter, and I think you pretty much always care about the Porter.
Yeah, you always care about the Porter. Always gotta kill him.
He's one of those unassuming sidekicks, but he puts in a lot of work if you don't get rid of him.
Yeah. He's an extension of Sinbad, makes him not be in any danger.
So Ravening for 3 here would be pretty nice, because there's nothing like Wily on Sinbad's side that can punish you grouping up the sisters. But might not.
What space does he go to Ravening for 3?
So he would pull Porter 1. Oh, sorry, I was looking at a connection that wasn't there. It'd be just for 2. I think still getting 2 in while you can is good, because usually people want to clear out the sisters, so you can't expect them to stick around too long.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my bad. It's only 2 damage here, but I think still getting 2 for a Ravening might not be terrible. But just going in and hitting Porter here too works, especially if you have something like an ambush.
Any defense he plays is 1 less Sinbad can use.
Yep. And he's unlikely
his ambush isn't that good though in this matchup against Sinbad, right?
It's not good for the value, but you can hit some really important cards.
As long as it's not like Voyage Home.
Yeah, I mean, even just hitting one of the good value voyages, like the healer, the auto damage, I think is still pretty worth it, even though you are putting it in discard for Sinbad. So, but yeah, ambush not probably as impactful as it might be in other matchups. Unless it hits exactly that voyage home, then it's a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct, Phantom. Yep. Yeah, my brain was for some reason thinking that the one that Drax currently standing in was connected to that spot as well.
Interesting.
Just a 3. Gets a good defense card out of Porter. But that sister is being hand-delivered to Sinbad. Yeah. Porter's like, here you go.
Yeah.
So if the sister blocks with a dash or an exploit, she could survive here against most things that Sinbad's got. The auto damage voyage would kill her regardless unless she faints. Probably not fainting here for the sister.
Do you keep the sisters up though? Because I mean, Dracula has how many defenses? 2 exploits, 3 dashes. That's 5.
Yeah, then he's got the
3 feints. That's 8, and then 2 and 2, so 12 defenses total.
Yeah.
So.
I guess my thought is that you don't want them gone before you can get the Ravening value. And because even just using it as a pass is great, and getting that auto damage in is quite nice.
Let's attack the sister.
I'll take it.
I doubt you'd block a second time. Yeah, just a shift. A shift that is not active but doesn't matter when there's no defense. The voyage used there was the draw voyage, so Sinbad keeping up on cards here pretty decently. Yeah, it's an interesting point whether you try to defend that sister there or not, because you do force Sinbad to use another attack to kill her unless it was the auto damage voyage. But I mean, I guess a commanding is a guaranteed kill on the sister there, but there's only 1 copy. And you can always get Ravenings after reviving the sisters, so it's not like if you lose them early that Ravening's a completely dead card.
If he's able to get the heal, voyage, and like get some value on that, and the random discard voyage.
I'll do 6. Are we rolling 6?
Porter taking this attack. Most this can do is a 4 if it's the commanding impact.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one to hit.
Good pull, yeah.
So 2 of the 4 value defenses gone for Sinbad now. And those are the best blocks for Porter. Shift also, as someone notes, you might not really need the shifts on offense this game. They can guaranteed take out sisters, but your voyages can probably get there against Drac once you clear out his stuff, and Shift can be an alright block for Porter to keep him alive since it's an any card.
The dream for me, just thinking of this, is if I was Sinbad and I had the discard voyage, I'd use it on one sister, and then if I had voyage home, I'd use it on the other sister. Because I don't think he'd faint,
Yeah.
if I attack a sister, and he can't bidding if I attack a sister.
Yeah.
And then I would get 3 more attacks back, which would be, what does he have? I think those 2 voyages are trash, but if he brings back the discard voyage, that could be big.
Mm-hmm.
You'd want the heal voyage too, but Sinbad hasn't taken any damage, so. But voyage home on a sister, I think, is the play.
Drac attacking Porter. I'm guessing feeding frenzy because he moved up the sister. Yeah.
Okay.
So if that had gone undefended, Porter was dead since it would be a 3.
So he's got 2 more feints left. That's a little risky.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. Could be a situation where he doesn't have anything else to defend the Porter other than the feint. So even if he thinks it is something like the feeding frenzy, knows if he doesn't block it, he's dead.
He's taking it.
Oh my goodness.
Wait.
No, what are the chances that you're doing a 5 here?
Taking
Okay.
it.
It's just not, it's not
I think he's
might have been expecting the regroup bait.
I do one more action.
That's very painful.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was a 3, I wouldn't take it.
I think
you only played 1 defense, so like, and I wouldn't go and do an attack, if I didn't have a defense. Yeah, I don't know about that. I wouldn't even want to take a 3, so that's why. Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Okay, double exploit here, gonna draw each player card. So yeah, if that
He's
last
keeping up
one
card draw, keeping up
blocked,
some kind of pressure.
If the exploited blocked the commanding, Drac would be in a bit better of a spot here.
Your turn.
Yeah, I think it's just calling out the regroup and being wrong there.
Yeah, there's points where you can call it the regroup, and I don't think that's it. I don't where when it's this early in the game and you've only played 1 defense and like you pulled a leap away with it. Like, I don't know, I just think that's too risky.
Yeah.
Like yesterday when I was playing Moon Knight, and he had only feints as defenses, and I had 2 of those insanities. It's like at that point, like, sure, like I'm not going to, but it's a thought where like, okay, I can attack with insanity. He can only defend with a feint, so like he either has to take this undefended. And, like, I have a boost attack I can hit for 6 if he takes undefended. So like that's the kind of like risk you could think about taking, but like here when you have all your defenses, you don't risk that. I don't think.
Yeah. Alright, that will be Porter.
Okay, so that's that. Sinbad's got to end adjacent now, and he only has 2 feints.
Porter got a lot of value before going down, though.
Yep, he does have 4 toils though. He can use on Drac.
It'll already go everywhere.
I guess so.
Alright, your turn.
Alright.
So that's a big win for Sinbad, but it's definitely not to say that it's set in stone now. That just puts Sinbad a lot closer to having this be a winnable matchup than it would typically be.
Yeah. What's his movement? He has got 4, 1, 2, 3. He can go around and hit the sister without being next to Dracula. So if he wants to hit the sister, definitely don't go that way.
Yeah, he is doing that.
I'll attack the sister.
She'll take it.
Sister taking it.
Right, she's dead.
It's going to be the discard voyage, which could also be
Oh,
huge.
now he's just got to land. He's just got to get Voyage Home off now, and I actually favor Sinbad for sure.
Yeah, and at this point, bidding pulling out Voyage Home isn't even that bad for Sinbad.
Exactly.
Alright.
So feint is the only thing that lines up well into it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Pretty good.
terrible discard in my opinion, but I'd rather take a bidding or feint or
Yeah.
a beast form
I think that's
or
where
a
the
bring
lower-
sister. Well, actually, I actually want him to bring a sister back in this situation if I'm Sinbad, because then I could Voyage Home it, because I don't think he's gonna feint it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he can attack a lot, so and every time he attacks, he of course doesn't draw, so that tends to help. He must have some nice draw power in his deck.
So I don't want to. Yeah, so I have to attack.
Bjorn definitely doing a good job of keeping Drac on the back foot this game. Drac has the current hand advantage, but.
Defense.
Ooh, okay, alright. Alright.
For it.
This is one of the ways that Drac can just get back in this,
Yeah.
obviously.
So that's 3, 4, 5 damage so far.
Let's see. What else?
He is. This is second action, so he does have to be careful that he's.
Yeah, and Sinbad can attack and then move her away. Yeah.
Yeah.
4, 5.
I think I definitely see you dropping Ravenings here.
Yes,
Prey Upons are. I could see it going either way. You might want the healing at this point since you took the 5 undefended. Especially if
feel
Sinbad
like
ends adjacent, you could Prey Upon and move away maybe.
Yeah.
But I could see them being ditched too. It's pretty close for me.
I mean, right now he brings Sinbad to 10, and Dracula still has 4, 5, 6 healing, so he could still go to 12. So it's still like closer than it looks, even though he took a commanding to the face.
Yeah.
He can get 4 from a fainted beast swarm and 2 from prey upon, so that's 6 damage, and then Sinbad has 4 health. Can Sinbad land 1 or 2 heal voyages, and can he land voyage home?
Yeah, I think that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah. He has, in this matchup, like the 2 damage in most matchups. 2 damage voyage, the healing voyage, and the discard voyage. Those are the 3 like I want to bring back. Like if I had those 3 in my voyage discard, I would use voyage home as my 4th. Like I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are trash. So, and I know. Oh, did Bjorn just?
Looks like he might be
DC?
refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, some people too.
Yeah, because you can tunnel vision on trying to get too many of the voyages back.
Can anybody hear me?
Let me go tell him. Captain, he DC'd it looks like, so we're just gonna have to wait a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. Is it
He
me?
actually rage quit. Yeah, he's like, I'm done. I don't want to play against this guy anymore. So he left. So yeah, congrats on top 8. I'll see you in the grand finals. Yep. Good luck. Have a good night, man. Peace.
Phantom making a good point in chat as well. In this matchup, the movement voyage, which is in the discard currently, is also pretty good because it lets Sinbad not end adjacent to Drac. So yeah, I think if he can get like, ideally if he can get like the heal voyage off, especially, I think that's the highest priority one right now. But if he can get that off, and or the auto damage voyage off, then yeah, at that point voyage home is probably fine to use at that point. Which also means that Drac doesn't want to pull it out with bidding. You want that early, not once there's several voyages, including some of the higher value ones in the discard.
Yeah, it was good that he's able to get these voyages off
Yeah.
before even having to really hit Dracula with Sinbad. So getting one of those off, it's good. Oh, Bjorn's back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. My connection just got lost.
That's fine. We decided that I won and that you have to.
that sounds unfair. Okay, what happened? I was attacking you, I think, and it looks like my card still isn't put down, so this was gonna be my first move, first attack.
Alright, we're gonna see a first action attack here from Sinbad.
Very smart. Beast Form's gone. There's low hand count on Dracula. There's no pressure that there's a big Beast Form coming. Even if he biddings. What was that? What was that?
That is the heal voyage, so fainting that is very good for
Okay,
Drac.
that's very good, but I mean, yeah, voyage home now is like, this is what you want.
Yep.
I'll attack again.
It could
Wow.
be this. It
Wait,
could be
no,
this.
toil? This is a toil? Wow.
Oh,
My
the auto
goodness.
damage voyage.
That's 2 voyages, or 2 feints gone, though.
Yeah, there's only one left.
Okay, Captain's happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you be happy there?
I
don't know.
I would be initially. I would be very happy. But
yeah,
the
but
more
like you have
the
one
more
more
I
feint,
consider
though.
it, yeah. But now I'm happy in the short term. But the long term, I'm still quite worried. Bidding is obviously horrible to rip out Voyage Home now, because you're going to take a bunch of damage over the bidding, and then you're also going to give Sinbad back all those voyages. So bidding can still be used to delay the Voyage Home if it tries to get used, but you need to line up that feint into Voyage Home, otherwise either that or you need to kill Sinbad before he can find it.
Yes. 2 feints on Sinbad, 4 damage. He takes 4 from that. 2 from Prey Upon, so that's 6. So Sinbad will have 3 health left, which is manageable. But to go in and Voyage Home, he's going to take another 1 because Drax's going to use his ability. So that's 7 of his 9 health. So it's going to be close. And this is with Dracula taking a commanding to the face too.
Yeah.
So that's a. So, but I mean, this is like Sinbad's best shot. At coming up with this.
Bidding can actually be quite nasty too, for the normal reason it is, where it could stop the Voyage Home and then pull out a feint, which could clear the beast form to get more than 4 damage through.
Crazy aggro. Is this a regroup because he wants to draw, or an exploit to draw as well? That's his 3rd feint.
Yeah, that's the last feint. Voyage Home is now
I agree with this because going aggro on Drac, this is where you kind of put him on his back foot. He doesn't have a lot of offensive power. It's likely he doesn't have a beast form. Statistically likely, I think, right? I don't know. So he's going to ping him. He can draw, and then, I mean, Sinbad's got to have a feint.
Good thing.
Yeah, and if Drac double attacks you, I mean...
I'm just going to see a Prey Upon into a maneuver.
Guarantee you almost no, you don't almost. You want him to bring his sister back right now, because then it gives you free Voyage Home.
Yeah.
And
another move that people are calling out was potentially bidding into an ambush if Voyage Home is one of the cards in hand, could pull it out as well.
Yeah, so he's gonna want to use it right away.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, at this point, you just fire the Voyage whenever you
Yeah. But, like, I mean, would you go in right now and use Voyage Home? What would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It would be a 7 to his... I mean, if he does do my bidding and pulls out a feint from your hand and then attacks you with a beast form, you lose. So
yeah, it really depends on what the 2 cards are, because he might be comfortable if he has 1 feint, he might not be comfortable if that's all he has.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, love to see it. That's almost something you never see, but in this situation, it is exactly what Bjorn wants.
Sidious just called that out in the chat, actually.
Yep,
too.
Sidious, a very good Sinbad player. He's got a lot of experience with him, and has, I think, played in this matchup. He also had a pretty rough one where he had to play into Muldoon recently, I believe. And you were on the Muldoon side of that against Taylor, so... yeah, Sinbad can definitely struggle against both of those fighters, both Drac and Muldoon, but he's got room in each of the matchups, and in this one we see how he can win against Drac if it can be played right. And now Sinbad's got cards for days and is not afraid going in. Do you see the bidding? It's going to be the last voyage that is not Voyage Home.
So is this going to be a...
And he's got two feints, so he can pull one out, but still will have the other one. However, now Drac can potentially double attack, and then Bjorn has to decide whether...
I see the... Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that if Drac has Beast Form and another attack, he can try to... Basically, Bjorn has to see or guess whether the Beast Form is coming out first or second. And if he calls it wrong, he could just be dead here. Yeah, because if he blocks with anything that isn't feint against Beast Form, he's currently dead.
Yeah.
So, oof, this is a crucial turn. Drac pinging to get the extra card. Either to find the Beast Form or to put him in a closer range.
Yeah, what he can do is... Toil is 3, so he can attack with Dash and then pull out the feint there. And that would be 1 damage, right? Yeah, so you attack with Dash, he plays a feint or he plays toil. If he plays toil, you can follow him.
Yeah.
And then you attack with beast form and he feints. That's 4 damage. So then he's at 1 health. And then all you need to do is he can only attack you once because if he ends next to you, he loses. So you just play a bidding or you play literally anything, and then you run up and prey upon him. That's auto win right there. That's checkmate if he has those cards.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Jason, not Mike, or both of you. Both of you called the richest play. I didn't see Jason call it.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
my bad.
both,
I don't look. I'm not looking at the chat.
Also someone who plays Sinbad a lot.
Yes, Jason's a Sinbad master.
Yes, he really is.
Oh no, Crockpot, don't do that. No.
He might be scared of the health, I guess.
Yeah, but now it's a free voyage home. But I mean, he does have to have voyage home too.
Yeah,
though,
he saw that there wasn't voyage home already, so he knows
he
doesn't
doesn't
immediately have it.
Are we missing a voyage in here? Is there supposed to be one more, or am I tripping? I thought he played the other 6.
It was returned with bidding, so he still has one in hand currently as the.
Yeah.
And we see Sinbad moved with Ravening and done 1 damage, so getting him ever closer. And if he can get 1 more damage in Sinbad, he's actually dead to beast form no matter what. So that sister coming back and doing the Ravening actually now seems like a pretty decent idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're clear for that because you know that the voyage home is not currently in hand, so he still has to draw it in these 9 cards. So you have room to go for this play with the sister. Whereas if you didn't have that, then it'd be very risky to bring her back. I
mean, it's literally prey upon a fainted beast form, you win.
Even
or beast form ravening,
mist form, or ravening.
Yeah,
plus
mist form
plus beast form. So mist form and prey upon, or ravening plus beast form. So basically, if he has the beast form, either the ravening just by itself, if the sister doesn't die here, or the mist form into prey upon is guaranteed lethal at the moment. So depending on what he has in hand here.
First action, I'll attack the sister.
It's almost certainly going to be the toil to get next to Drac and maybe send an attack his way. Or at least move away so Drac can't catch up. Oh, just going to be the voyage. Looking at he wants to see what Drac has to work with.
He wants to see if he's about to lose.
Oh, if he hadn't killed the sister, he would have.
Yeah, yep.
You can do this just like I've been doing.
Yeah, nice.
So all 3 Ravenings were in hand, which is why bringing the sister back, I think, was actually pretty good. And good on Bjorn here, obviously making sure that he takes out the sister and doesn't let Ravening be a lethal out.
That's why I couldn't attack you last turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and we also see from Crockpot not able to do the double attack, only attack in hand was beast form.
I think as Drac though, you just run away all game, right? You never ever go in.
Yeah,
again.
At this point, I think you can just run.
It's just mist form into prey upon into beast form auto win. So I think now it's Dracula running away and drawing 2 every turn until he has lethal. And Sinbad has to. Problem is Sinbad can never attack again because if Sinbad attacks again, all Drac has to do is defend, and then. I mean, Sinbad's gonna attack with toil every.
I'll attack.
Okay, did not expect this.
Yeah.
Because now Sinbad can get, like. I mean, it's Dracula favored either way, but I think Dracula auto wins by running.
Well, yeah, I think all you'd have to do is run, find the beast form, the mist form, prey upon. I mean, I guess you still have that out, but now you're giving Sinbad the chance to attack you this turn, and then you still have to find the... Like, he can maneuver away so he doesn't end next to you.
Yeah. All he has to do is top deck the prey upon. He wins, though.
Yeah.
He literally has to attack with a voyage home, and then attack with a heal voyage right away. And then he's at, what, 3 health, and then he takes 1, and then he... Yeah, it's gonna be... It's pretty much GG here.
If you have the bidding here as Drac, you're pretty safe, I guess, either way. Because you know there's still versatiles in hand for Sinbad that you can pull out into a bidding. So if Crockpot drew the bidding, then this isn't the worst idea here.
What are his defenses left for Drac? He has 3 dashes, 1 bidding, and 2 of those 1 value. Look into my eyes.
Yeah, those are real bad against Sinbad.
Yeah. If he like regroups, if he doesn't have any dashes though, a regroup attack into a voyage home for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 8, 6, and then an 8. And his only defense is to look into my eyes. So if Crockpot takes undefended, and Sinbad draws 2 and draws, okay, yeah, no, that's already out. Ooh, what's that? Is that game?
Voyage home.
I think not over.
That's not game.
No.
Oh, but he has no more feint, so he attacks with a 2-damage voyage.
Yeah, he's guaranteed.
Oh my gosh! Holy crap! That's 8 to 2, so that's 6. He goes to 1 health.
You're right. My bad.
But no, you
No,
lose
you're right.
because 2 damage voyage.
Yeah, because he gets the auto
I
damage
misplayed that
voyage.
so badly. I can't. Oh, it's so frustrating.
I think the only way you go in with Drac there with the beast form that turn is if you have the bidding.
Yeah,
and even then
I
it's
don't,
still a little risky.
yeah, there's no reason for him to go in. Like I said,
Yeah.
100% no reason to go in. Just double maneuver away. But I mean, if that was his only defense, I mean, he would have been able to draw once more.
Yeah.
Into a better defense.
And even if he does have to block with this, he still survives.
Yeah, I'll take second action.
And he gets to ping Sinbad. Oh, he had the dash too. So if you had blocked with the dash, he also would have been fine.
Incredibly stressful. And oh man.
Why'd you throw the voyage first? Did you think I didn't think you were gonna feint?
I guess he was thinking that if it was a toil first, Sinbad gets.
You don't have
feint.
feints.
I would have known that I was ready to defend that first attack you were gonna throw. Right?
Right, like the very last.
I'll turn up the players here so we can hear post game talk.
Like just now. So if I tried this
This
dash,
voyage home, right?
then I live.
Ah, you did draw the dash. I was kind of betting you didn't actually.
But then I wouldn't have
Because-
come in to attack you. Like the fact that I came in to attack you tells you that I drew something to survive your attack. When I don't kill you, I'll get you down to 1 health. So it's like okay, then you're gonna like that's like
Yeah, Jesus. Oh man.
Dang it.
Is that right?
Either way, I should have just waited. I should have just maneuvered away, waited for you to come in, and then I play this on defense. I survive. I'm so frustrated. Why did I do that? It's like as soon as I drew it, I was like, oh, this is it. I'm fine. I'm fine because I'll be able to do the one. Oh man, it's so frustrating.
So wait, what else did you have? I guess something that could kill me. Did you have the scheme? No.
No. Then yeah, then it was. No,
so then we get 1 more turn. Let's see.
Well, no, but if you ever come in and attack me, then I suck your blood, and then it's lethal. You're at 5 health.
True. But so let's say because you had the dash, I didn't voyage home yet. Yeah, I kind of.
These are the cards I could see.
Yeah.
These are the cards I knew you had.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I expected, your first action attack would have been this.
Mm-hmm.
So follow me with whatever I play.
Ah, that's a good point. So
And
my
then
logic.
throw this or throw
Mhm.
your voyage home over after it.
So my logic was, I believe you still have one of these, and then you could kill me just immediately, right? And if you ping me, I die as well. So I can't have both of those things happen. So I figured I'll throw Voyage Home first. It's gonna deal a lot of damage. Gonna bring you down to, like, if you defend with a dash, it's gonna bring you down to 2, right? And then you do move away, indeed. But then I get back everything, including.
No, I would have
the one that
been.
deals you
No,
2 damage.
I would not have been at 2. I would have been at.
Because now you defended with this one, and that was a 2, and this would have been a 3. So then you take 1 less damage, right? So you would have been at a 2, and you would have moved away actually. So I had to draw, but I had a lot of voyages, and I would still have lethal with the voyage, which deals you 2 after combat damage. So I figured then I have to just survive 1 turn. Hope you don't draw into this, and then I'll just attack you, kill you with that, and then you also cannot ping me. That would have happened immediately after that, but then I would have killed you before you pinged me. That was my logic.
Okay. Yeah, getting your okay.
And maybe you don't have the dash, and then you go down to 1, and I can attack again, because that was also a possibility. But I think with the dash, it could have still worked. Because I knew I was in a rush, because if you do my bidding, then you can again just switch it for something
Yeah,
that
for
you
another.
don't mind. You also you can't discard a feint anymore, but something else that I needed at that point, and then maybe I would have died anyway. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, because then you just survive that turn and then you ping me and then I die. So I was like on a clock. I had to kill you like this turn or the next turn.
Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked you. That was my bad. That was stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that same spot where you make one mistake and it's enough for the opponent to get that window that they need. So I definitely can sympathize with that. Yeah, we were looking at it at the end, and basically what we were thinking was, as long as you just run from that point, as soon as you find Prey Upon and Mist Form, it's guaranteed lethal with Beast Form over a feint. And then if you don't, if Sinbad tries to kill you before that, and these were buried, like this one was second to last card, so you wanted to find it. You wanted to have found it in time, but if Sinbad goes in and attacks with something like Voyage Home, you ping him, and then you have a guaranteed kill with Beast Form. And he can't get the Voyage, he can't get a double attack with Voyages unless you start next to him by going.
I know, because of my ping, I should have never attacked there. Yeah, it was like...
It's easy to miss stuff like that, though, because, like, like you were saying, you had the dash, so you're thinking, he baits out with the toil, and then if you dash against the toil, he follows you and can attack again. But if you do this first and it's the toil, you take 1, but then you can dash the second one and you still live. Yeah, you live at 1.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely see the thinking there for sure.
Well, and when I looked at his hand, I don't know if I think he drew like 1 card. I don't know if you top decked your Voyage or what, but
I just got it indeed, so I didn't have it when you last checked. That's for sure.
So I was like, okay, I mean.
Yeah, I'm super lucky that I even draw it. Yeah. I feel like all my Voyages in the top. Yeah, there are like still 8 cards in deck, and I drew all my Voyages already. If that wouldn't have happened, I would have been lost anyway. Yeah, so that's definitely luck was on my side on this one, I think.
Didn't have any sisters. Didn't have any sisters cards until they were all dead.
When you took this, did you only have feints as defenses?
No, I had. I did have the exploit, and I had I had 2 1s, and then I had sister cards. So I didn't want to exploit there. That was just. I mean, again, it was the porter, so. I don't hate taking those, because then if you're feigning attacks from Sinbad, you're most likely feigning a Voyage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it being the 5 was deadly. Yeah, I didn't have. This would have been nicer even to play.
Yeah, I think throwing this out is usually pretty good, because you only take 1 from the draw card for the porter. You don't take anything from a regroup, and if it is a regroup bait, this isn't like a very good block against Sinbad, so it's like fine. I guess the worst case scenario.
Maybe I didn't have.
You might have only had the exploit, because you did block the second attack with the exploit.
Right, maybe I did.
You probably didn't have these, because I think you would have blocked with one of those if you had it.
I might have had this. I might have had this and a feint.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I think I had these 2, and then I had the at that point. Well, my sisters weren't dead yet, so I didn't have these either. I don't know what I had, but yes, this was not up there.
Yeah, because I think you would have blocked with those. So yeah, it was maybe a choice between these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was like I obviously I wanted to draw the 3 if it is that 3, but. Oh, dang it! That's so frustrating. Oh man, that was so easy. That was so. I just had to. I just had to walk away from you.
You got to top 16.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, I get a foil, don't I?
You definitely
played
well.
Get the foil.
You played really well.
And yeah, it's just even in this game, a lot of close calls.
Gosh, I'm gonna be like just thinking about this forever.
Yeah,
it kills me.
Oh man.
I understand. I went through the same thing multiple times this tournament, actually. But, it's just learning and trying to not make the mistake next time, right?
Yeah, that was stupid. I should have had so much play clock. I had it in my mind. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, even just taking extra time to think out and math out those
Exactly.
turns can be valuable.
Oh my gosh, it's so annoying.
Because as long as you can kind of see what your opponent's win con is and then compare that to what you need to do, like, you know, taking that time to do that can really help refocus and you know, let you know what you need to do. And even if you burn a bunch of your time, once you have that plan in mind, you can usually take turns faster from that point on. So.
Oh, and the turn there was a turn there where I've been awesome to have double attacked him, but I had no attacks besides the beast.
Yeah. I know that because that was what we were thinking there, because he only had a feint and then like a momentous and a toil. So it would have been a 50-50 call if you attack with the beast form or something else first, and if he feints the wrong one, then he dies.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
And that would have been.
But yeah, having just a bunch of schemes and defenses in that hand is unfortunate.
I got one damage with my ravening.
Yeah, and that actually put him within that 5 range, which was really crucial.
Right. Well, and it saved.
For the end game.
I was losing the game up until that. So my choices were this, because I had this. I had just drawn this, and I had 3 of these in my hand. And so I was like, okay, I'm at 5 health. And at this point, if he attacks me with this, I lose. And so, because I only had the 1s in my hand. And so, I either draw 2 random cards, hoping to draw a card that's going to protect me. Or, I do this and this, pull him away, I heal up 2, go to 7. Then I'm gonna survive because he had 7 of these in there, he had 6 in there maybe. Yeah, he had 7 total, so he had 6 in there. So I was like, okay, the math might be wrong on that, but that was what I was thinking through.
No, and it makes sense. I think, yeah, just a slight misstep with going in on that last turn.
Just stupid. Just so stupid. You broke my mind with that Genie game. Is what happened.
It's all that trash talk.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah, I kept trash talking. Good game. Good games. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a great set.
Who'd have thunk it? Only one with the Sattler and the Achilles game.
This will definitely be a game that I remember. In the previous tournament I also lost to Drac. Drac's so scary.
Yeah, it's fun because you just know your win con and
yeah.
And I should have gotten you to the win con and then just finish it instead of being dumb. By the way, when I say that stuff, I don't think I'm dumb. If anyone's wondering, and it's just.
No, I definitely don't think so.
It's unfortunate. All right, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, good games, great games.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Good Sinbadding.
Yeah, and just to kind of tie a bow on it, even the best players make missteps. You've seen it
I know.
in all sorts of, like, and when it's high pressure tourney situation, you know, it's easy to miss stuff and to second guess yourself or overthink things. And
I haven't even eaten. I didn't eat lunch.
That probably doesn't help either.
And I have no water. I'm just like running on fumes over here.
Boy.
It's 8 o'clock. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's like the middle of the night for me, right?
Real life fatigue hit me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it can definitely factor in.
Stupid. I could have taken this 3 minutes, made a sandwich, come back, thought about the game some more, dropped down some water, hydrated for baked goods.
Yeah, you gotta hydrate, homies.
Yeah,
Steaks.
you gotta hydrate.
Thanks for me.
But yeah, regardless, definitely a really well played tourney on your part, and like you were saying the other day against after your game with Patrick, like, you know, you've been improving every single time and getting better, and that's really the goal at the end of the day, right? Is to learn from those mistakes and to keep pushing for better results. And I mean, yeah, top 16 this time, getting the foil, like that's not a bad place to end at all.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, top 16, like this close to top 8, and like didn't you start the tournament like 0-2 or 0-4 or something, and then
I started high? So I started tournament 1-4, and I've won every game since then.
So
except for the Genie one the last round.
You gotta adapt to the meta at first, and then you learn.
I did. Yeah, that was intense. It was definitely intense.
So yeah.
So awesome.
And in the drafting, this was a strange draft. This was a fun draft too. Yeah. Man, good game, man. Good luck,
Good
Bjorn.
games.
I hope you win the whole thing, dude.
Yeah, and
about
congrats
me?
to Bjorn for making.
That would be cool.
Come on, we're in the same pool. I was rooting for you.
Brighton, listen, you're right, and I am rooting for you. And I will say, yeah, that game against you was tough, and that's the only reason why I made it out of the division out of my bracket.
Yeah, you're the only one to take a game off me. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will have that. That'll be a little trophy for me.
You guys are on opposite side of the brackets, right? So we could see these two in grand finals against each other theoretically.
Oh wow.
Well, theoretically, yes.
I believe.
So I messaged Brighton. I was like, Brighton, listen, I need you to 2-0 your opponent. Otherwise, I just need to do it. Otherwise, I can't commit. He's like, so he messaged me back later. He's like, I did it. Now it's up to you. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, because I think you advancing was strictly up to me 2-0.
It was up to you to 2-0, and then to me to finish out all my wins and win them all. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was So you made pretty big comeback from going 1-4.
That's
so.
awesome.
Props, good job. Good luck, Bjorn. And
yeah, good luck, Bjorn.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you, Darkblade, for inviting me on.
Yeah, of course.
I gotta go. So
Yep, all good.
it's been fun. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys
Thanks for the
later.
stream. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
See you around.
Yep, have a good rest of your night, everyone.
I'll
guys.
go to
I'm
bed.
sorry.
now.
Yeah, get some sleep, Bjorn.
Yeah, need to work tomorrow, man.
We'll get him
Okay,
next
I'll-
year. We'll get him during the summer.
Sounds good. Thanks. I had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, you too.
I'll log the games. I'll see you around.
All right, hey, don't forget that Sattler game.
I won't.
Okay, cool. All right, see
No
ya.
one hurt. Bye.
Yeah, it hurt. It stung. I was fatigued, naturally, like literally, worldly fatigued. I was hungry, tired, and I made just a massive blunder. It's so obvious when you're watching it to just like stay there as Drac, run away, and just not attack. Just let him come to you, because I'm guaranteed to survive, ping him, and then I have it. Like, but I had this whole elaborate strategy. It was super elaborate. It was foolproof. Man, if I go in, then he knows that I have a defense to defend and live. Why else would I go in? So he can attack with that card, which means he has to attack with this other card, which means I can survive. But it was just not necessary. It was overkill. I overthought it. I absolutely just crumbled under the pressure, and it really hurts to rewatch. I did enjoy rewatching though, because you can pick up a lot of notes and take a lot of good insight just from the comments, from the commentary as well. So I finished top 16. I'm very happy with it. I got a foil, and we'll just have to do better next time. With Summer of Legends is coming up. We also have Team League. Doing Team League right now. We just had our first draft. So there's a lot of fun things that are in the competitive scene of Unmatched. And I mean, we're just gonna keep getting better. So I'll see you around.